dinosaurs on them and everything by humans, like old civilizations.
Yeah, I mean, like Fatty and Blind are saying, how can we explain all these cave carvings and like the egg? How do we explain those, guys?
Because we draw what we see. You know, we've always done that. You know,
like
we draw deer, we draw the animals we chase.
I think when you boil it all down, like the one thing that makes a human specifically a human is imagination. And the ability to both like think of the future and to look at the past in an abstract and a very like pragmatic way. So like when you can imagine things, you can influence people to do your will and so forth and so like some of these things have nefarious uh beginnings and some of them are just like kind of fun things, I think.
Sure.
I don't know. Because I'm always questioning everything. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about this. But it's interesting, you know, like Faye said, the people draw what they see.
Yep.
That's all it comes down to. Yeah. I mean, the oldest cave art in the world is basically, as far as I'm considered, fucking UFOs.
Oh, what is that? Aliens.
Like specifically, what art? No, I was just wondering what art he was referring to.
Like southern Idaho, around the Craters of the Moon National Park, is basically what they're considering to be some of the oldest hieroglyphs on Earth. And they're finding new stuff every day out there because nobody's been out there. It's a national park, but it's just a barren desert. Literally, there's nothing there but rock, right? And you're out in the middle of like exposure, like major exposure, and there's tons of artwork out there from a time when it was a lush area. You know, that the geology shows that it was a lush area. The fossil record shows it is, but it's stars. It's the egg. You were just talking about the egg, right? The universal egg is the symbol of life. It's the symbol of, well, the egg came from the Pleiades. And damn near every culture on Earth, as far back as we can look into the religious records, we came from the Pleiades. And that's basically what our story comes from, whether it's the flood or whether it's any other mythical story. Beyond
have you heard about the mud flood? Have y'all guys heard about the mud flood theory?
No, tell us about it.
Well, would you, Fatty? I'm not sure, like, what the details are. Do you know that? Like, I just know that there are people that believe that the Earth was flooded by mud instead of water.
So when we look at like Machu Picchu, and we look at like Göbekli Tepe, and all these other ancient sites, even the pyramids, the Sphinx. When the Sphinx was first discovered, as far as white people go in discovery, the only thing exposed was the head. The only thing exposed out of the sand was the head, right? But when we look at, especially like Göbekli Tepe, unless humans spent 4 times longer than it took to build these gigantic structures, to fill them in, not just with rock, but with silt. That's where the flood theories come in, because I think straight up, we did live before the flood. I think a lot of the stuff in the Bible is true. There's coralized Egyptian wagons in the Red Sea that are right around 2,500, 3,000 years old. Why would there be chariots? That, as far as we know, that lake is never frozen. There shouldn't be Egyptian anything out there on the ice that would fall in, right? Why would there be tons of these Egyptian chariots in the Red Sea where supposedly it was parted by Mr. Moses that have now been coralized, right? And we can trace the carbon dating on those. So like
another thing that I see with the mud flood stuff was a lot of and I remember this from when I was a kid. I remember in the town that I grew up in the post office, there was a picture of the town in like, I don't know, 1900 or 1800 or something. And like when I picture that picture in my head now, I think that it was like fake as shit, like completely fake. And it there are a lot of people who've actually went to like places and gotten these pictures, because a lot of towns have these pictures, and a lot of them are fake. Like they're basically photoshopped, but by the hand. And
sure.
When you think about it, everything that you know except for a skill, unless it is a skill, everything you know is secondhand. Like, so you might think you're the smartest or the most educated person in the world, but unless you've experienced it yourself or you like can verify it, a lot of this stuff, like we don't really know. I don't think the earth is flat or a sphere. I think it's a dimension. Like I think it's a moot concept of flat. Like
some would say that Bigfoot is an interdimensional being, and that's why they kind of come and go and live here only when they want to, but can go back to their own dimension when they need to.
And Bigfoot makes sense to me, because there had to have been a time, if humans are a product of evolution, then there has to have been a time whenever we were Bigfoots, like just hairy.
At least, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, and it's crazy because
I've had a lot of Sasquatch experiences. Straight up, guys. I've had quite a few. I've seen personally? I've had rocks thrown at us. Hunting camp was the best one, though. We were back up in this wilderness area where you had to take mules to pack you in, and it's like a 2-day walk into these backwood lakes, and it takes the mules like 2 days to get back in there, and then you go back for like 2 weeks. It's hunting camp. I've seen shit out there that was definitely not a guy on drywall stilts. Okay. I've seen, not only that, but we've had them come into camp at night. Wasn't wolves, wasn't a fucking bear. And sounds at night, especially in the woods. Like,
oh, hell yeah.
Cougars are fucked up, dude. Cougars make the weirdest sounds. They're cats, right? They'll fucking like,
hi, Huggies.
Oh, yeah.
Here, come here. Right? Cats, dude. Fucking cougars, right? Crying
Don't
like babies, crying like human babies in the woods, like luring you, right? Oh, but then to hear like knocking, the knocking on the trees, the tap, tap, taps, just like brush hunting and traveling, areas where all of a sudden you run into a fucking tree that's snapped off like, 4 to 6 feet out of the ground, which could be snow. It could have snapped off during a snow load, but no other tree is damaged around it. And the tree is, it's still 20, 30 feet tall where it snapped off, and it's been planted in the ground upside down.
What?
It's not chainsawed off, dude. It's not chainsawed. It's snapped off, like sheer snapped. I've seen a lot of fucking trees buried, and that's a marker. It's and especially where you have like a Y or a branch or a different path to take, that you can notice things like blaze marks, but like 6 or 8 feet in the air, not where a human would do it down at like 3 or 4 feet.
No, yeah, I've seen some crazy. I used to live in the country for a long time, and I have seen some crazy shit, dude. Like, especially at nighttime, like with the lights and the sky, like you don't really know what's out there.
I mean, I see UFOs every time I
So,
look up.
Fatty, have you seen a
But with them-
Sasquatch then?
With them coming into camp, though, that the night we had a herd of elk kind of down in the valley from us, and we were using these little squawk boxes and little squeakers and elk bugles, and you know, it's late August, early September. It's primetime rut season, right? The elk and the deer, they're moving. The bitches are in heat. The males are just out of control. And we're just sitting by the fire, hitting these little squawk boxes, little chirps and little calls, right, for the cows. And fucking boom, 50, 60 pound rock. Okay, we're 40, 60, probably 40, yeah, probably 50, 60, 80 feet away from the tree line. And a 50, 60 pound rock comes, boom, boom, like damn near hit my buddy. We're sitting in yard chairs, and the most wicked, absolutely blood curdling, like grape, the grapes, the sound of a woman screaming in the middle of the fucking woods at 2 a.m. No, dude, it was not a person. It was not a fucking cat. It wasn't an elk. It wasn't a deer. It wasn't a bear. Sure as fuck wasn't a squirrel. Okay. And after telling a couple of stories, my cable guy lives north of town up here in this little town, Blanchard, and had him throwing rocks at his house.
What?
Same thing. You know, 50, no, dude, it's frickin' Sam. It's Sam Squatch and his brother. They're fucking weird, dude. I'm telling you, they're all over up here. Idaho's the fifth in the nation, or maybe the lower 48, whatever it is. Washington, Oregon, Montana, Wyoming. I mean, right now I'm like 4 or 5 miles out of town, and I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. Like 5 minutes away from town. I'm very isolated. It would take at least a fucking hour for a cop to get to me if I called 911. Minimum.
And where did you say those hieroglyphics were? Idaho always seemed boring to me, but this sounds.
I know it's fucking bad.
It may not be.
Southern Idaho is real close to Yellowstone, and Craters of the Moon National Park is kind of would it be southeastern, and then like straight south, you're getting into like Zion and Utah National Parks. You know, up in towards the Montana area, you're getting into the mallard larkin, and that's where I had my first sighting when I was a kid, when we were camping up there. Same thing. You know, you got to take mules back in there. It's like a full day hike just to get back in there. It takes the mules 2 days to get back into you, to bring your gear to you. And then you're back there for a couple of weeks, you know? And we were just little fuckers, like, I don't know, probably 10, 12, 13, sitting up on the ridge, and saw 2, what I thought were bear, right? Kind of come out of the bush and down into this little mud lake, and start kind of playing around, and like we're like, okay, we'll start glassing on these guys and get the binoculars out, and dude, it was not a bear. There's not 2 bears. And it wasn't 2 people dressed up in gorilla outfits in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like middle of fucking nowhere. Like there's very few people go back there every year, let alone the few people that do. So like, you know, that's kind of what sparked my interest as a kid in all of this shit, but just always having an open eye and an open mind that I think a lot of shit's possible. But, you know, like I said, I mean, sure, you know, textbook information, firsthand, secondhand, thirdhand information. I still trust that the firsthand information has made it cleanly through the telephone game, right? Of whispering something to somebody and seeing how far it changes down the line. You know, I still trust that Nicholas Copernicus knew the math of astrology before he proclaimed to the world that the Earth is not the center of the entire universe. Because we already knew this, right? It was already like a fact. We knew this. The church was suppressing the information.
Wasn't that Galileo?
Galileo worked with Nicholas Copernicus, yeah.
Okay.
And they're both considered heretics, right? They were both basically shunned and killed by the church. And now, like, the whole role has reversed. I just don't get it. I think we're a really paranoid and real critical thinking species. And the imagination, like you said, bro, a rock that falls in the cave in the middle of the night into a mud puddle when we're sleeping in the cave, right, is either the fucking boogeyman or it's just a rock that's falling into the fucking water and cave, right?
It depends, like, what angle it comes in at, like, what's the trajectory and how fast and hard, like.
And what was your mood when you went to sleep? Were you scared when you went to sleep? Were you hiding from an animal? Were you chasing buffalo? Were you, or were you calm and relaxed? So you hear it and you just wake up and go, oh yeah, another rock fell off the fucking ceiling in the cave, and you go back to sleep. So like.
Well, have you ever heard of the people that died at Dyatlov Pass? It was like the snow expedition. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they got lost. That one was fucking weird.
And then, like, when they
Donner Party.
It's similar to the Donner Party.
It was in Russia or like northern Siberia, and it's if I remember right, it's kind of close to Chernobyl or something. Either way, it's the outskirts, and this Russian expedition went up there. Got way up, way north of wherever they had come from. Apparently, there was wasn't there like a jail or a prison or a there was something up that way where whatever, the whole entire party ended up dead, right? And when they finally found him later in the spring, like, it had looked like there had been maybe like an avalanche, but it was real flat ground. And basically what they figure is that something spooked these people to where they got out of their tent in the middle of the night wearing basically no clothes or maybe like one shoe, and they all died from exposure.
Yeah, well, they were all in all kinds of. Yeah, there was a lot of different, like, weird things. Like, some of them were barefoot, and some of them were like the way that they were dressed was odd. The way their clothes were put on, like,
and their
it was crazy, and then
different weird positions, and
and there was no explanation. Like, there was no like reason of
back to
why
your original question of the mud flood. The mud flood definitely happened. There's no way that these ancient archaeological sites, especially around Belize has more pyramids than Egypt, and they're all covered in soil. Like, they're covered in topsoil, like, that would have had to have been a flood with the amount of silt and gravel and just the way that mud works, right?
Where we could Belize at? What continent is that on?
It's just it's north of Brazil, basically in the Bahamas.
Okay, so South America.
Basically, you just say, like, go south of Florida, straight south.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a lot of
ancient Aztec shit down there that all matches in the symbology with when we uncover all of these ancient sites. The symbols, the snake heads, the what was the one you're just the minotaurs, and the horse with the human body, and the bull, right, with the whatever. Those symbols are all over the world.
Just
like
quickly,
the sun
Neve,
symbol.
hi, sweetie. Neve in her viewers. We've got a raid. Thank you, darling. Sorry, Faye, carry on.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday to the birthday girl, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Happy New
birthday.
Year to both birthday girls.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Leopard, too.
Yeah,
That'd
leopard
be
print
nice
too.
to just have the 29th birthday for the whole rest of your life, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it
Wouldn't
would
it?
be.
Dominica,
Have you guys heard
you've got
about?
an interesting take. Can you tell us about your take? Dominica, are you there? Oh, he's here. You hear?
Cody.
You hear
I'm here.
me?
Yeah,
There you go.
What's your take? Because you've
So
got an
good.
interesting take.
well, thoughts are things. And unfortunately, most people talk from after those things. So in this case, what I'm hearing in this case, how do you talk about are the senses? And
Yeah.
then you describe it. But all that stuff is from within. So when they tell you stories of whether there was dinosaurs, giants, or angels, again, for most of us, we didn't experience it. So at that point, it's a story. How does it serve you to know those stories? You know, was there a mud flood? Was it electricity? You know, people look at everything on this realm and they see it's material, but what are those two images up in the sky called the sun and the moon? Are they material? Where do the clouds come and go? Again, those are the senses. I'm using my eyes to look at things. This is why when people say you should question all things, yeah, question thoughts. Hence why you should be in a state of stillness and silence, because you don't have to speak. Anything after thoughts, such as spoken or written work, pen to paper is what's called history. Now, whether or not you draw it in a cave or whatever, that's still another story. We weren't there. So now we could use our imagination. We can ponder those things and say, what those kids were doing in the cave and all that kind of stuff. But how does that serve today? If people want to question things. But what most people do is they do it after the thoughts. Oh, okay, I got this thought. Okay, so what do you do with it at that point? Anyway.
Faye?
I think we kind of have a tendency to maybe experience something and then go back and try to find answers in a sometimes critical way, where we're seeking the information that we want and finding the answers that we're looking for, rather than maybe just looking at things from a non-emotional, you know, taking the emotion out of the experience. At least for me, that's, I mean, really when I started looking into Bigfoot stuff is the not the University of Idaho, the Idaho University. The guy there is the biggest Bigfoot guy in the world. Like, you know, and I'm right here. So like the information was close. Spent quite a bit of time in high school looking into that stuff, and we were in the woods so often that like those 1 in a million experiences, you know, are what you remember, you know, and what at least for me, what I seek the information for or from. But I definitely agree with Dom that, you know, there's you know, a scientific method that needs to be followed when we're looking for information, true information, however we want to call truth, right? But yeah, you know, there's something to finding the information that we're looking for, right?
I think that's the whole point. In my opinion, is I think a lot of this stuff is honestly, this is my honest to God opinion, is I think that it's meant to placate us, because humans are natural problem solvers and adventure seekers, and want to understand everything in its and like in our reality, and because they don't want us to understand it, they keep us confused and basically pacified with a lot of these tells.
Some of that I do buy into. A lot of that I think goes back to the same point, that we're just looking for information that we want to find. Especially when we talk about God. I mean, there's 4,200 gods worshipped today on Earth.
Well, I mean, for me, the moment my eyes were like truly open to the fact that I don't know anything is when I actually looked at the moon through a high-powered telescope for the first time. It
Yeah.
it's that's not terra firma. Like that is not a material. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way that you can that something could be so bright and so highly like high definition and create such light without being on fire or something. Like it's so unreal looking when you look at it through a telescope.
Well, yeah, try looking at the sun through a telescope. It's even brighter.
I'll try that.
You know, it's just a reflection. You know, it's just a really bright.
Well, that's what they say the moon is supposed to be, but the moon has cooling temperature, and then if you look at the moon during a eclipse, you can see through it, like literally see the constellations behind it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well,
That's the theory of relativity at work right there.
What does that saying about the senses? When you're told
Right.
stories that it's heat, sorry, yes, give me a second, Patty. When you're told something is heat, but then you jump out of a plane, why is it cooler up there than down here? Hence the term as above, so below. They're not talking about the earth. Again, all the stuff you guys are talking about, you're talking about how the senses are easy to be misled. We're using language.
Yeah.
How does that work?
And
You know,
senses
what?
that trigger our emotions. You know that.
It should, and it'll just give you an indication whether or not they're mature. You know, this is where people talk about Christ consciousness, where you should be mature with your emotions and developed with your intellect. But unfortunately, most people are quickly to be triggered and they say shit like I agree or disagree. So that tells me that they're not developed with their emotions. Just be the observer of those things. Hence the story of Christ-like. Be the observer of those things. The experiencer is probably less. Most people call experience the physical, but you're experiencing words. You're experiencing emotions. You don't see anger, you express it. You don't see tree, you describe something, you call it a tree. Again, this is how most people have been asleep, hence why they call most folks the walking dead. They'll question things, but they don't know what type of things to question. Go ahead.
So are you religious? I'm curious. Like, I'm just curious what your philosophy is, because that's an interesting point of view.
You're better off leading
Yeah.
with your suit. Are you religious?
Yeah, I am. I'm Christian.
Okay, good enough. And how did you get indoctrinated with that? By your parents, by your community, by the environment around you?
All of the above.
Okay. And what about all the other dogmas, such as state and commerce and science? Because commerce runs.
Well, I think that there's an intrinsic value to Christianity that other religions don't have. It's a choice, but and I understand that. There was a time when I was a non-theist, so like I'm not saying that I disagree with people having that point of view, but I see the value in Christianity when it comes to behavior and to stuff like that. So I choose to be a Christian.
So knowing that, did you study all the other teachings, like the Quran teachings or Bhagavad or the Buddhism teaching?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them I have. Buddhism is pretty interesting, and I agree with a lot of the teaching, or some of the teachings, but it's not my thing.
And how is that perceived when you're using a lower energy way of communicating, in this case, the written work? Like, did you download Christianity or did you read it in a book called the Bible?
I read it. But I'm curious to you that from your perspective, what the purpose of life is, because you're obviously saying that people are, or that people have the tendency, at the very least, to just be asleep at the wheel. So I'm curious what your perspective on purpose and in life is.
Okay, so you're curious or you're seeking?
I'm curious.
Okay.
I'm speaking answers.
Okay. I'm pretty sure those answers will come from within if that's what you're looking for.
I don't know if it works like that, but I can imaginate.
You'll never get him to answer.
There's not an answer I can give them.
Right.
Those are usually clever questions that we give each other. If you're seeking, you're seeking from within. That outside story, I'm just going to tell you a story.
Sure.
Well, I'm just trying to find out what your philosophy is. If you have a philosophy that I can relate to, and if I can take what you're saying with seriousness, because if people that have a philosophy of life that I don't agree with, I really don't consider what you're saying with this serious of a tone. In all honesty,
How does that serve you to agree or disagree with other people's whys, hence philosophy? How does that serve you?
because like I said, if I agree with their philosophy on life, then I can take a conversation about things like this with more in a more relatable way. And if I don't agree with, like for instance, when a Satanist or a like a devil worshiper has a conversation with me, I'm not going to take what they say about philosophical ideals or ideas with any kind of seriousness because I don't agree with their philosophy.
Because humans are judgmental, and we make judgments instinctively, right? Instinctively by wanting to shelter ourselves, by seeking comfort, by seeking information. What is it that knowing, like if I told you that I was a Buddhist, let's say, what does that do to your judgment of me that makes any information that I would say, discreditable or not valid because of the predetermined judgment, which in reality is an ad hom. It's an argumentative fallacy. As soon as we judge the other person, we lose the argument.
That's not necessarily true. Your belief system says a lot about you. It says how gullible you are. It says whether or not you operate in faith. It says whether or not you have good intentions or intentions that I align with. Like your faith says a lot about you.
Definitely. And I'd say that faith, when it comes down to it, is the ultimate goal, really, or the ultimate philosophy. Faith is what drives us, right? We have faith, whether we're religious or not. I think that it's faith that gives us the ability to accept things as being true.
Yeah,
faith is
for
everything.
Sure.
It's all that religion has, right? Is faith, right? It's all that humanity, in my opinion, has to keep us moving forward. I believe love always wins, but I think there is some sort of a 49 to 51% kind of yin and yang thing going on, where when I get in different situations like this one, I tend to think to myself, what would a guy that's my age, who hasn't spoken a word, okay, for the past, let's say 36 years, who's a Buddhist monk living on top of a mountain in Tibet somewhere, what would he think about the situation that I'm thinking about right now? Because guaranteed it's going to be different, right? Because everybody's perspective is what creates our own truth. Our environment, our surroundings, the stories we've been told, the stories we buy into, the stories we tell ourselves is what creates our own faith in our own truth. But there is a collective truth, and there are things that that gets, there's only 25 different ways to explain truth in philosophy,
but you're right. There's an absolute at the bottom of it all, right?
This lake that I have my sailboat on up here is 2,000. It's over 2,000 feet deep.
Sorry, one sec, Faye. Haggis, can you turn your camera off when smoking, and then you can turn it back on, please, my love? Go ahead, Faye.
I've got to go anyway. I've got a phone call coming in.
All right, sweetie. Thank you for coming up.
All right, I'll see you in a bit, probably.
Okay, sweetie. You're more than welcome anytime up here.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Faye, sorry, carry on.
We've got a Loch Ness monster up here in our lake, in Lake Ponderay. is called the Ponderay Paddler. And there's been numerous things over the years that my silver mines are up there on the shore of the lake. I've seen things on top of the water that shouldn't be there, that go away, like, at the same time. I've seen UFOs go into the lake and come back out too. So there's some weird shit going on up here. And we happen to be in like the number 3 MUFON hotspot in all the world for unidentified phenomenon sightings. But the Ponderay Paddler, there's tons of pictures. I mean, there's no way that there's a 100-foot long log bouncing up and down in the middle of the lake in the middle of a day and then just disappearing. It just doesn't happen. I mean, it's not. The rationale behind it, is we can rationalize and justify our way into anything, right? We can talk ourselves into something, into thinking that something was true, into thinking that we saw something. Apophenia, remember? The pussy-shaped clouds. We see what we want to see. We understand what we want to, right? Especially in the woods, especially when we're exposed, when we're alone. Our imagination, like you said, tends to wander into things that we already have preconceived notions of. If I didn't know that there was anything such as a Sasquatch or a hairy man in the woods, I mean, what do you call something when there's no name for it?
And is it still scary when you see it? Like that's the one thing I wonder about often is if we hadn't been told to be scared, would we still be scared? Yeah,
I mean, I think fear is what drives humanity. I think there's absolutely no way to live without fear. As much as one of our fellow YouTube friends would like to live without fear, fucking impossible. I say embrace the fear, because you're gonna feel it anyways, and the fear usually turns into an outburst of anger in some way, in a reclusive, fight or flight type of thing. But man, I mean, that's the whole thing, is how scared are you when you see something, right? I mean, I don't know,
Well, I mean,
the only undiscovered large mammal would probably be my mom, and Joe already discovered her, so. You know what I'm saying.
Domenico, he's gone. I was just going to ask him what he thinks, because he's always got a really incredible philosophical approach to things. I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence about all these things. I'm. That's why I'm being a little bit quiet and I'm letting you lot talk tonight, because I don't know what to think.
And I don't either. I mean, I try to lean towards the error of things being not just a made up farce, not just a bunch of bullshit, that we draw what we see. We emulate what we see. And the artwork, as far as I, tend to believe, the ancient artwork just is so similar around the world that it's hard to say, but there is not a lot of Bigfoot art. That's one thing there isn't a lot of.
Yeah. And you know what's scary about that, what you just said? Like, this is the reason why I'm so just questioning of everything, because if I can have an understanding like this, then the powers that be also have the understanding that, like what you just said, we see what we draw, or we draw what we see.
Yeah.
Well, like the people that control information know this too, so they know that this is how we're gonna analyze these hieroglyphics and so forth and so forth. So like, it's almost like implanting the idea that without outright saying it. You know, because just kind of showing you the hieroglyphic, you're going to relate to whoever created it and be like, well, they probably saw this or that. Well, what if that's what they want you to believe? Like, it's just so easy to shape perspective, you know?
Yeah.
It's
But is
scary.
it though? I mean, is
it is.
is it
I
on
used to
that
do
grand
that.
of a scale? I can't buy it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't
On that
think that.
kind of stuff. I mean, I've done it though. I like social engineering experiments. I've done it a lot, man, just for fun with chats and stuff. Like, I'll go into chats and change the entire, like, the whole belief system of whatever they're speaking on. Like, I've completely shifted the perspective of chats just with clever arguments. And it, it's wild, like, how people are so easily. I mean, all you have to do is just like find a way in, like find what that trigger is to get them to accept the information, and you
Here's the
can
deal,
tell when
bro.
they do.
You just speak with authority. You speak like you know what you're talking about, and people will fucking believe you.
Yep, that's so true, bro. That's so
Straight
fucking
up.
true.
Look at the ortho bros. Look at the incels. Look at the coomers.
I don't know who none of those people are.
Yeah. Go to the Crucible and you'll figure it out.
Oh, I just went there for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, then I'll know soon enough.
No, you just, you speak with authority and you don't back down. You hold to your argument. You interrupt. You ask questions. You don't let people answer the questions. You interrupt with new questions, which is called a deflection and a redirection. And then you claim the win.
Hell yeah. That sounds like what I do already, just instinctively.
Because, yeah, I mean, we are creatures of habit. We are, we are gullible. We are pretty fucking dumb when it comes down to it, and tend to believe what people tell us. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I know Bigfoot's real. I've seen the fucking things. I've heard them. I've had them throw rocks at us. I've seen them walking across the street when we're driving in the woods. I've seen them down in ponds. I've, multiple people that have been around and shit. But last fall we were up, was it December? No, it was freaking March. We were up at a snowboarding competition up here, hanging out on the deck at the bar. Maybe it was somebody was streaming at the time. And I was sitting there with 60, 80 fucking people watching a squadron of UFOs fly across the sky. Everybody saw it. Everybody was just like, oh yeah, whatever. See that shit every fucking day up here.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. When I lived out in the country, bro, at night, like, you would see, like, aerial activity that doesn't seem like it should be able to be achievable. Like, and it's like, well, am I seeing, is this lights? Is this some sort of craft? Like, I just kind of chalked it up to, I'll never know what the fuck it is, but, like, it was so wild, man, and you wouldn't even believe it unless you saw it.
Yeah, Mount Baker's got a bunch of activity. They're close to Crystal Mountain, close to Mount St. Helens. That whole.
Did you say you had a sailboat?
Pacific Northwest. You
say you had a sailboat?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Catalina, and a wakeboard boat, and a fishing boat.
What the fuck? That's pretty cool, dude.
So, Faye, some of the things that you've seen that you said are unexplainable. Do you think that it could have been something explainable, or do you, or are you just like, no, these are the things I've seen, and it made no sense?
I think it just comes down to preconceived notions and apophenia. If I would have never been taught what a USO or a UFO or whatever they call them now is anything, I would just think it's a shooting star, or who knows? I mean, But without a name for something, how do we name something that nobody's given us a description or a name for? You know,
That's true. You point of reference. You have to have a point of reference.
Or not Twin Lakes. What is that? Twin Falls, Idaho. There's a the Cambion layer, and getting pretty much from like Twin Falls up into Billings and the Yellowstone area, North Yellowstone Park area. Dude, tons of hieroglyphs, tons of old structures and animal paintings and shit that, I mean, something was there.
Well, you know what? You know how they said, I don't know if you ever heard this, but Nikola Tesla and his, like, I don't know if you know the story of him and stuff, but like, that dude, he was done wrong, man. He was done wrong by Thomas Edison.
Oh, yeah.
And
Damn.
yeah, so he created a tower that supposedly generated electricity, free electricity, and he was gonna attempt to just allow everybody access to it, and it was destroyed like 2 or 3 times, and he died without ever completing it. But like,
there's no money in giving shit away for free, right?
Yeah, that's what the belief is that he tried to give it away for free, so they offed him.
And even if he wasn't giving it away for free, it basically just was free. I mean, there was, the Warden Cliff Tower. And, you know, it was just a big ground rock. You know, and that's what sparked, again, the notion that the Great Pyramids of Egypt were some type of batteries or some type of electrical producing power plant of some sort, you know?
Well, it's crazy because it's like, have you seen I noticed this on my phone like a year ago maybe, you can take 2 Samsung Galaxies, like the new Galaxies, and put one on top of the other and wirelessly charge one to another.
Yeah.
Like, since when did we have the technology to do that? Like, I don't ever remember hearing that we could do wireless electricity yet.
Well, and even like when I was in high school, we were coming from MS-DOS kind of into Windows, right? And diodes, electrical capacitors, light emitting diodes, LEDs, were just kind of coming on the scene. But at that time, we could project where our technology is right now and what we can actually make and manufacture right now to be able to pre-plan. Like you want to make a patent, you want to have a patent on anything that has anything electrical in it. You got to be planning, 5 to 10 years down the road. You're not planning on right now's technology. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Right. We have to look ahead. So how do we do that without being able to have things like math and science back the information? Musk is another one that I wanted to kind of touch on, but Tesla was a dude.
How does the patent
system work? Religious, but man, he was a trippy motherfucker, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for sure. Do y'all know how, like, the patent, how you get something patent? Because I thought about you know how, like, do y'all know what are they called, man? A strut is for a car.
I do.
Okay. Well, struts operate off of like a friction-based spring system. Like, it has a coiled spring in there, and it stops the car from like hitting metal on metal. Well, always thought if you took some type of electromagnetized housing and put two reverse polarity pole magnets in there, and one on top, one on bottom, and kept this housing electromagnetically charged, and so that you could actually dial up and dial down the strength of that you could create a air free, like a fucking smooth, the most smoothest ride, because those reverse polarity magnets wouldn't ever allow the car to bottom out.
That's what they used on the bullet trains in Japan.
Oh, so that already exists? Because I just thought about it.
Yeah. Yep, that's how
Another
they keep
one I thought of.
the 200-mile-an-hour trains running smooth on tracks.
Another thing I thought of that I've never seen is, you know how they have the trash cans open by your foot?
Oh, the ancient trees. Oh, dude.
Like how you step on that thing, the pedal, and the trash can opens. Well, why is there not a toilet seat with that mechanism? Like, because everybody don't lift the toilet seat because they don't want to touch it with their hand. Like, you could so easily just take that little whatever system that opens the trash can lid and use it for a toilet seat, right?
That technology exists too.
Yeah, you've got a garbage can that open in that way. Yeah, that would be easy to implement. I don't know if it's popular, but
I just never seen it.
Well, the thing is,
no, I haven't either.
I think they have it in Japan, if I'm not mistaken.
There's so much shit that we don't even know about that.
Well, the thing that I've learned in the last 5 years of my life that really blew my mind, man, is I operated my whole life under the assumption that everything had already been figured out. Just everything had already been done and everything had already been answered, but that's so far from true.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm struggling to think of examples, but no, if everything was figured out, then we wouldn't have struggles or nuisances.
Yeah, well, we just kind of accept each other's hypotheses, and with a lot of it, like gravity and relativity and all that. A lot of these things are still theories, you know?
Actually, the James Webb Telescope is finding actual gravity waves that are detectable now.
I have a lovely Bigfoot song. That's why I came up.
Yeah, we
nice.
Yes. We made it with AI. It's Bigfoot falling in love with a werewolf.
Yeah.
Is
it a diss track?
No, it's not a diss track. Actually, that's another whole thing. Yeah, I did make a rap for the contest, but
you did, David?
Yeah.
Have you sent it to me
as well? Yeah.
No, did you want to play it now? Quickly, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Well, let's play the Bigfoot werewolf thing first.
Okay, no worries.
Find the damn thing. And yeah, but it barely qualifies as a diss track, I would say.
Cognizant, 1 second. I'll just put the banner up for a sec. We've got a couple of people coming up now. Sorry, guys, I've not been as verbal as I normally am. I'm just dealing with some real stupid shit in the background. Yeah, Crispy, you okay?
Yeah, it's me.
Hey, Crispy.
Hey.
Hi,
happy birthday.
Cognizant. Hi, sweetie.
Hello.
Hi, darling. How are you doing?
Hello.
I'm fixing my audio like always. Hold on a second.
Okay, no worries.
Hi, everybody. Yeah.
Oh, Crispy, you sound like I feel, darling. You don't sound good.
Yeah, I took some medicine and I fell asleep.
There's still a lot of scratchy static on here. That's crazy.
All right, cognizant. Sorry, Crispy, say that again.
I just said I took some medicine and I fell asleep. I didn't feel very good today, but I'm okay.
You don't sound very well, Sweetness. You sound like how I feel this morning. I woke up with a
You sound
I
like
just
my
woke up
soul.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm sick a little bit.
Oh.
I do a lot of walking, and so my foot is. Bottom of.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like everybody's a little bit ill. Sorry, guys. I've been dealing with some stuff in the background, which is so fucking stupid that it's made me laugh. I mean, it's so fucking stupid. Crispy, it relates to what happened the other night, right? And I've just had some screenshots, and some people on YouTube are so. The only word I can describe it as is fucktard. That's the only word I can describe it as. They're just fucktards, right? And I just had a screenshot going, this is so funny. It just made me, Mel was never a true turtle. Good riddance. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Mel was never a true turtle. No.
What is a turtle?
I'm embarrassed for them.
Oh my God, Crispy is so fucking stupid. It's beyond me. Honestly, sometimes people's stupidity absolutely fucking makes me laugh. I'm sorry. I mean, there's us having these wonderful, interesting, intelligent conversations, and there's another panel going, oh yeah, Mel was never a true turtle. Fuck off, you fucktard.
Dude, like, thank God you
I'm
were
not going to
never
go into the
a true
previous community.
fucking turtle.
Oh.
And it's making these screenshots are making me laugh so much, right? I'm like, what the fuck? And people are so stupid.
Like, I'm so embarrassed for them. And then I think, you know what, Wiccan, I was gonna say it's Matthew's birthday today too. You guys
Wow.
Yeah. So
Well, tell him I
think
said happy birthday.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, likewise.
I don't think I mean, I won't be over there, but I went over there earlier to tell him happy birthday. I don't know if he saw me or not, but yeah, I was like, and then it was somebody at my work's birthday today too. It's like everyone's birthday today.
Oh wow.
So, but I had intentions of doing or wanted to do the Marilyn Monroe thing or whatever, but it just wasn't in the cards today.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that's so funny, Mel. You're not a true turtle.
I know. I was told Mel was never a true turtle.
Thank God, or else like I wouldn't be able to hang out with you.
I mean, the level of fucking stupidity, it honestly, I was here, like laughing my head off because I just thought these people exist.
Yeah, exactly. That's so weird. Like I'm so embarrassed for them. Like, oh my God. One of the people that I go with, or another content creator, I heard her the other day. She was like, no, we're not. She's like, we've never been bears, turtles, tigers, rabbits, nothing. Like, I don't. Everybody's got like an animal name, or an animal.
There's nothing embarrassing about this. Crispy, relax. Have the smooth sounds of Frank Sinatra singing about Bigfoot and
Oh, I know, right? So that's hilarious. Mel's never been a true turtle.
Where
That made my
moonlight
day.
softly gleams.
Oh.
Bigfoot and the werewolf, the strangest of love, it seems. He's tall and he's hairy, she's fierce with fangs so sharp.
Yeah.
But when they come together,
Hello.
their love lights up the dark.
Me and Bigfoot.
they met one fateful evening under a starry night. Their eyes locked in a gaze, their hearts taking flight.
I feel like I'm tripping.
I know, right?
World may not
What's
understand,
going on?
but their passion knows no bounds as they dance hand in hand.
I took too much allergy medicine. What happened? What's going on?
Together they're free. Bigfoot and the werewolf defying destiny. Through thick and thin, they'll stand side by side in a love that's wild and rare. They'll forever.
I really feel like I've taken acid or meth or something.
Right.
Some type of
Lovely.
psychedelic.
Little Molly.
Yeah.
Molly action.
Yeah.
Dance side by side forever.
Cool.
Me and
Cognizant, you said some interesting
Do they-
stuff in chat.
Do they need a
Mel and
priest to
Bigfoot.
ordain their meeting, or are they getting wed, or what's going on here?
What's
Say
up?
that
I
again?
don't know. I don't know. I
Is,
just
is,
got
were-
here.
is the werewolf and Bigfoot getting married now? Do I need to schedule them in?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I will be the best man.
Fatty,
No,
Fatty, have you
I wanna
ever
be
seen a
movie
Bigfoot? Since you live out there, you live in a place where I feel like Bigfoot would maybe go or hang out. Have you
Yeah, there
ever
was
seen a
last
Bigfoot
week. There was
character?
front page on the county over from me, like 20 miles away from my house. There was a sighting. It was on North Idaho News Facebook page,
Oh my God! How did I know that?
all over the papers and whatever,
Really?
And I just, I dress up as Uncle Sam for 4th of July.
I see.
I've been on drywall stilts a bunch. I can run on drywall stilts. You
Dang.
can't walk on drywall stilts out in the woods.
Oh, you can run on stilts?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're gonna have to prove it.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to see that.
I
In
used
the
to jump
words
on
of
the
Whitney
trampoline with them.
Houston, show me the
The
receipt.
receipts.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Drywall stilts are badass. I mean, you don't need any canes or anything. They wrap around your knees and have articulating kind of ankle springs where you can like kind of stand on your tiptoes and brace yourself in different ways. But even a small set is 16 to 18 inches at the shortest. That'll crank up to 24. The tall ones you can get up to 36 inches.
Clearly, somebody
There's nobody
has
walking
taped
around
you.
fucking woods in those things. I'm telling you, there's nobody doing that.
Nobody.
No,
Yeah.
it just doesn't. And even if you wanted to, you couldn't get more than 2 or 3 steps. And at least like the video we watched, was it last fall or something, of the most recent Colorado sighting when they were on the train and they saw something moving and zoomed in on whatever, and the Bigfoot walked over and sat down.
Yeah.
You can't do that on stilts.
No. I don't
You
know,
know,
but like
And
I
even
take
with
your
green,
word.
like
Chris,
I
did
just
you just
it's hard for me to buy into people, because I've thought about doing it. Like I've
Yeah.
tried to plan to do it. It's fucking, you can't do it. It's hard. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
How,
Right.
so why still is Bigfoot like supposedly like 9 foot tall, like in these sightings?
Really tall, I think. Yeah.
I mean, basically, 8 foot to the top of the head, with arms
Dang.
that are proportional. That I don't know. I just know that literally I can walk out this door and I'm in the middle of fucking basically nowhere. I mean, there's a road, but like I could go up to the nearest ridge and look out as far as I want to, and there's not another house or person for fucking 120, 50. It'd take me 50 valleys to get somewhere if I walked in a straight line.
Wow. Are you in like a wooded area? Is it just woods?
Yeah,
or
it's
is it
all
just...
pine forest and deciduous, fir and conifers and a lot of alder and a lot of bunny rabbits. The bunnies and the grouse are doing really good the past few years, which is a good sign.
You have do you have trees? Do you have like fruit trees? Anything like
Somewhat.
that?
There's orchards in the valleys and shit, but for the most part, like everything's just tall, Doug fir, white fir, red fir. And the lumber mills are fucking turning more logs than they can turn right now, and adding on. We can't find decent loggers, can't find decent carpenters. The country in itself is in a shortage for labor, let alone like us up here, one of the biggest booming areas in the country. And I can't find guys to come read a tape for $25 an hour. I can't find guys that know how to read a tape for $40 an hour that'll even show up. Yeah, straight up.
That's easy.
Like, I'll teach you how to be a cut guy. Just because, I'm bidding on shit right now that we can't. We won't even start for 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, like
5-10 minutes away from wherever you're at. Like, think of the Midwest. Like if you're in like Wichita or something, and you drive north, you end up in what? Big open fields.
Yeah.
The same thing up here is just mountains. But like as far as you can go is like you could walk for days and days. People get lost all the fucking time up here.
I bet.
Hey, Fatty, I'm sorry, I'm about to hop down real quick, but I just wanted to say, if you're serious, bro, like I'm looking, like I've been looking for a place to relocate to and a new job and all that. Like I'm trying to just like get a fresh start. And I got experience with all that stuff, with drywall, with carpentry, all that shit. What do you call it? Do you really have? Do you have like a way to contact you?
Yeah, you're on Discord, yeah.
I can put the two of you in touch in Discord. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Sure. Okay. Well, I gotta call it a night, you guys. I'm sorry, but I do gotta hop down. But yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. I hope you have a good night.
Thank you for coming up.
For sure.
Good night, Blind.
Yep.
Be good.
Okay, so I've got this. I wanted to I'm really fascinated by the Japanese folklore, legends and all that kind of stuff. I think it's fascinating. And I wanted to kind of this is quite a long article, but we'll just touch on it. So I was wondering, Wiccan, whether you could do a little bit of reading. I know it's quite small. Can you read it? Is that readable?
Yeah, I can. I might mangle a few words here and there, but I'm gonna do my best.
Right. Okay. And just like look into it, because this subject is fascinating. Like I said, I'm on the fence. I don't know what to believe or not, or what to believe, what not to believe, etc., etc. But I find the Japanese stuff fascinating. So let's go, Wiccan.
Yeah.
Wiccan, it's not going to be a true read unless you make a few boo-boobs. So unless you make a few boo-boobs, it's not going to be a good read. So don't worry about it if you do. Don't worry.
Happy birthday to you. Go on.
All right. So, should I read the intro or just jump right in?
Well, just jump right in.
All right.
The intro's good, though.
We'll do the intro. It's up to you. We can do the intro.
Okay. Spirit Moon, Dragon Kings, Goblins without bodies, Water Imps, Sun Goddesses, Animal Spirits, an Underworld for Lost Children. Oh my. And a Boy Born from a Peach. Japan's wondrous and eclectic folk tales are amongst the most imaginative, charming, and sometimes terrifying found anywhere in the world and remain deeply embedded in the country's ancient culture and traditions. Visit Japan and you will have the chance to travel back in time to a land of monsters and magic, adventure and enchantment. We will show you where to find the locations of some of the greatest Japanese folk tales and how to get there with your junior pass. While uncovering the stories behind these myths and legends and gaining a deeper understanding of what they mean to the people of Japan today. Get ready for an adventure of a lifetime. And Japanese folklore and mythology dates back thousands of years and draws on influences from the country's two main religions, Shintoism and Buddhism, as well as stories from India, China, and elsewhere. In particular, Shintoism can be seen as a direct influence on the wealth and diversity of magical creatures and spirits in Japan's folk tales, for it is both an animistic and polytheistic religion in that it believes in a vast number of kami deities and spirits which inhabit animals, the landscape, and even objects. The Shintoshu, a Japanese mythological book regarding Shinto myths, further outlines the origin of Japanese deities from a Buddhist perspective. However, because the nation's folk tales draw on a range of influences beyond Shinto, there are many other supernatural creatures and spirits featured in the most famous stories, including yokai, monster spirits, kappa, river child or water spirit, tengu, heavenly dogs, yuri, ghosts, and many more. Japanese folklore was traditionally separated into a number of distinct varieties, such as
If you can't pronounce it, Wiccan, don't worry. Just do your best try.
Muka Shibanashi, Tales of Long Ago, Namidabanashi, Sad Stories, Oda Kibanashi, Ghost Stories, and Oga Shibanashi, Stories of Repaying Kindness. Tankabanashi, Witty Stories, Warabanashi, Funny Stories, and Yoki Barabanashi, Stories of Greed. Oh, these words.
You're
doing great.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are doing really good, Wiccan.
All right, we got to scroll down a little bit.
Oh,
though.
sorry. I'm not. My bad. I was opening something up that Fatty put in the back. Hang on. You're doing great. I mean, that's quite small writing, even with my glasses on. Are we here, however, because of nations?
Yeah, we're good there.
Yeah.
Japanese mythology also draws on ancient historical texts such as the Kojiki, Record of Ancient Things, which is the oldest recognized book of myths, legends, and history of Japan, the Nihon Shoki, and the Hatsuma Sute, an epic of Japanese mythical history. Japan's folk tales and mythology were also inspired by the country's creations myths, which focus on two prime divine beings, Izanagi and Izanami, who gave birth to the islands and created the land's many gods and goddesses, such as Amaterasu, the powerful sun goddess of Japan. Traditionally, there was also a strong oral tradition of Japan's folk tales, and wandering storytellers would often travel across the country from village to village to tell their tales with illustrations on kamishiba paper, a great resource for those who wish to read some of the country's most famous folk tales is the recently published book Tales of Japan, Traditional Stories of Monsters and Magic. This wonderful book features new and original illustrations by Japanese artist Kotaro Chiba. Japan has many incredible folk tales. It is hard to list them all, but we've picked out 4 of the most famous.
Sorry, I need to scroll down. Mal, get on top of it.
There we go. Momotaro. Arguably the most famous Japanese folktale. This is the quirky story of a boy born from a peach who was discovered by an old childless couple when they split the soft fruit open. Momotaro jumped out and was raised by the couple. Later, as a teenager, he set off on a long and dangerous quest with a talking dog, monkey, and pheasant to battle a legion of demons and claim their riches.
Okay.
Yuki Onna. This is the tale of a snow woman, Yuki Onna, whose icy breath freezes her victims to death. In the classic tale, she comes across 2 woodcutters and spares one. Wow.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's insane. Go ahead.
Kintaro, the tale of Golden Boy with great strength and the ability to talk to animals. Kintaro is usually depicted as a sumo-sized child who wears only a red bib with the kanji character for gold, holding a hatchet for a weapon, and carrying a fish, normally a huge carp, one of his animal friends under his arm.
All right.
Okay, scroll down. God, I'm really not up, doing my I'm not Legends of Tono.
All right. For more than 100 years, the rural town of Tono in Iwate Prefecture has had a reputation as being Japan's city of folklore. This was largely because of the publication of a book in 1910 entitled Legends of Tono by renowned folklorist Yanagita Kunio.
You're doing good, Wiccan. You're doing good.
Thank you. Which brought together many of the spoken word folk tales that had surrounded the village for centuries. These stories largely focused on a magical water sprite or imp known as a kappa, which looks like a turtle or frog and which was known to lurk around ponds, rivers, and lakes. Parents would tell their children to stay away from the water because the kappa might get them. Kappa were said to represent the dangers of the water and were sometimes threatening and mischievous, but they were also beloved. Today, there are many statues and carvings of kappa throughout Japan, but especially in Tono. Legend has it that Jojin-ji Temple in Tono was once on fire and a kappa extinguished the flames using water from his head. You can visit Jojin-ji Temple as well as a number of museums and other sites in Tono with a connection to its history of folklore, such as Kappabushi, which is a small pool near the Jojin-ji Temple. This is believed to be the home of the town's kappa, and you will often find visitors here waiting to spot one below the water. You can even hire a fishing rod with a cucumber on the end of the line, believed to be the kappa's favorite food, which you can dangle over the water in the hopes of luring one out. Adjacent to the pond is a shrine dedicated to the Kappa, where women pray for breast milk for their children. As to be expected in the city of folklore, Tono has even more to offer for enthusiasts of myth and legend. Gohyaku Rakan is a series of moss-covered carvings created to pacify the spirits of thousands of villagers who died in famines centuries ago, while the Suzukishi stone is a massive boulder said to have been placed by a legendary warrior monk called Benkai, who had extraordinary strength. While in Tono, you can also visit Fukusenji Temple, a large
What I'm looking. No, you're doing fabulously.
a large Shingon Buddhist pagoda and shrine in the northeast of the village. Finally, no journey to the city of folklore would be complete without a trip to Tono Folklore Village, Tono Furisado no Mira, which is a collection of traditional farmhouse buildings populated by local artisans and craftspeople. You can visit Tono by train using the Japan Rail Pass. To reach the To from Tokyo, take the bullet train to Shin Hanamaki Station before changing to a local train for Tono Station.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right.
Yay!
Are we scrolling down?
Japan's most mysterious and magical locations.
Nice.
While Tono might be the city of folklore, Japan has a huge number of locations associated with its folk tales and mythology. It also has many locations that are just downright mysterious and magical in their own right. We've put together a few of our must-see recommendations. Yonaguni Underwater Ruins. The westernmost island of Japan, Yonaguni in Okinawa, is world famous for sunken wrecks, incredible undersea ruins, and of course, amazing sea life, including hammerhead sharks. The mysterious pyramid-like underwater structures are a wonder to behold and remain unexplained to this day. Are they man-made or natural? You might just think you're swimming past the lost city of Atlantis.
Wow.
Joman
What was that noise?
Suji.
Is it me? I think.
No, I just had a glow.
Whoa. I said, oh no, I can't breathe.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
No, you poor
You're not
thing.
even a real turtle anyway, so shut up.
Yeah, no, I'm not a real turtle.
I'm not going to take the shit from someone that's not even a real turtle.
I know.
You're not Leonardo. You're not. You're not.
Holy shit. I would have never agreed to co-host if I knew you weren't even a real freaking turtle.
I know, Wiccan. I'm such a fake. I'm not a fucktard. Oh, I'm so sorry.
How ridiculous. Not even a real turtle.
I know.
Do you even have three brothers? Do you even have a rat sensei?
Oh, right.
Do you even live in the sewers? You're not the product of mutagen.
Right. Do you know what though? Right, there's and I've said this before. There's a certain word that we don't really use in the English vocabulary, and that starts with an R. Right, we don't use that word. It's not really in our vocab. But when I came to YouTube, I understood why it was used so much.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are just not all the way with it. Maybe
I don't know. I don't know. It's actually really sad to see that people buy into this fake online stupidity, like they belong to some sort of cult, and it's they have no brain cells. They're not very intelligent people, and they follow a fucking turtle.
But you know what? It's so true. But you know what? I always wondered about is like it's so strange to me that there's so many people that need a leader. They need like somebody to follow. Like they can't. I don't know what that
But
is.
Crispy, have you seen the people that they're following? I mean, we're talking people with criminal backgrounds, you know, and it's really weird. I find that the real kind of like menaces of society, right, will set up these YouTube communities, and then you get all these brain dead fucking zombies following them, believing every word that comes out their mouth. It's like they have no idea how to use their brains. And it amazes me how YouTube is a magnet for, and don't get me wrong, this community is intelligent. We have incredible conversations. We talk about real life stuff. You know, we don't exploit or claim that, you know, we fight for missing children and then exploit them. I mean, it is beyond me. Like what I see, honestly, I must have been really fucking naive, because when I've come to YouTube, right, and seen what I've seen, and people act in the manner that they do, I'm like, wow, I understand now why my brother says, Mel, there's so many fucking idiots on the face of this planet that just want to follow and not use their brain for logical thinking. And I've seen it tonight. Like I've been hiding behind my thumbnail because I've been sent loads of, and I'm like, it's fucking funny. To me, it's so funny. Like, wow, people, get out into the real world. Stop claiming fake disability claims. Stop scamming your government. Fucking, you know, go out, work, live your life, and stop being such a fucking zombie. Because
Mel, are you doing the news thing on Wednesday?
Yes, darling.
Right, I've just come across something, and I'm telling you now, brace for it, Mel, because it's all kicking off now in England.
I heard about that story.
From what I've just seen there, somebody streaming it, it's going to be kicking off in Southport.
Oh,
Southport.
It's going to be kicking. I said this, didn't I? I said England's going to end up in a civil war, and that's exactly where we're heading.
You did. Wow. Get ready, people. Mel's going into civil war.
Are you ready for war?
Rach, are you talking about that dance studio?
What's just happened in Southport is involving a 7-year-old child.
Oh. Well, we'll listen to that in tomorrow's news breakfast show.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
sounds terrible. I don't think it'll lead to war.
A civil war. I'm up for a civil war. I'm up for a civil war.
I'd love a civil war.
Yeah, so.
Rach, are you talking about that dance studio?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in tomorrow's show.
I'll do some digging today.
Yeah, Wiccan, did you want to carry on reading? Because, like I don't know, is the chat happy with the Japanese, mythologies? Because we can go back to the one about the worldwide one that we were reading before. Yeah, like fuck it, let's go. Yeah, Chris. No, Chris, you know what? There's a off topic here a little bit, but there is a lot going on in UK. There's a lot of unhappiness going on in the UK. There's a lot of shit going on in the UK, and there's so many bubbly feelings, and the community, the society is just had enough.
The tensions are rising.
Yeah, tensions are rising. We're done with our government. We're done with the bullshit that they've been doing to us for years now. We've just elected a new side to go into power, and it's exactly the same shit.
They do it.
The other side.
They say the
They've been
same
there like 2 weeks.
but dress it up differently. They say that if you listen to them closely, every single party says the same thing except they word it differently and jazz it up slightly different. But it means everything the same. So in other words, if you're a British citizen, you mean jack shit in this country. If you are from foreign lands, you mean everything. You'll get free housing. You'll not have any bills to pay. And then when you get a job, you'll not even have to pay. You'll have to pay the bare minimum of taxes. But when they have to pay extra, even what pensioners now are going to be taxed on that state pension.
But we'll talk about this tomorrow, though, Rach, yeah? Because it's going to be our daily news. Because Sinner went, vibe change.
I do apologize. I'll hold my hands up.
No. Because when I talk about politics, and I never talk about politics on this channel, but when I do, when I'm asked about our politics, I go into a different person. It's very, very infuriating. So we'll leave that till tomorrow's breakfast show.
That's where it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But, and hopefully in tomorrow's breakfast show, we won't have the same palaver that we had last week.
Right.
No, I haven't cognizant. But so does the chat want to carry on with the Japanese folklore, or do they want me to go back to the Bigfoot, goblins, fairies? Because I mean I know that this is a lot, the Japanese stuff. I just find it fascinating. Panel, what do you want to do?
I've got my rap entry, if that helps.
Okay, we can come off this. We can come off this. Do you wanna put your rap in the back?
Yes.
We can come off this. I know that
really, really bad, and somebody has to come last.
It's really, really bad.
We'll
see. We'll see what it's like.
No, but not bad as in it's so edgy. No, bad as in
no. I mean, I know what you mean, but we'll see what it's like. I'm sure it's better than what you think.
All right.
Fatty, I have got your stuff, and I will be posting some more of your songs on my community page. It's just today I wanted to do a lot more than what I did, but I popped out today. I was sorting some stuff out, and I just didn't get much of a chance, time to do stuff on the computer. The feds finally caught El Chapo's nephew. He's been hiding out for 30 years. Wow. Yeah, wow.
That shit's going on.
Is it going off right now?
Yeah, South America's lit up. Britain's lit up.
Yeah. Britain is lit up. Britain's ready to explode.
New moon.
Yeah, I mean, South America, I'm assuming because of this situation that's happened with El Chapo's nephew. All right, because over there it's fucking insane. I used to watch a lot of the documentary on how can I forget his name? Like the biggest drug lord of all time.
El Chapo.
No, not El Chapo. Come on,
Pablo Escobar.
Escobar. I used to watch a lot of documentaries on Escobar, and I mean the government over there is insane.
Yeah, I used to watch the movie at least once a month.
Yeah. If you were a turtle, you would be watching other stuff, not about drugs. Well,
no, I was always fascinated by the cartels. Always fascinated by the cartels, not because of the bad things that they did.
Sammy the Bull, like a known mobster, he just had an interview on Soft White Underbelly or whatever. But I'm fascinated with that. But then again, like something irritates me about that guy. He's a mass murderer. But or not a mass murderer, a serial killer.
Are we talking about Escobar?
No,
not necessarily.
Him too.
But,
they're all murderers.
Yes, they are. And people say, why would you be fascinated in something like that? Because it used to fascinate me, the level that these criminals operate in, and what they get away with, and what how the governments deal with these organizations. I mean, obviously, I won't speak too much about them. I don't want someone coming out to my door and assassinating me. But I used to, it used to fascinate me, the government's input on what, I mean, and it still goes on now. So I don't know what's going on in South America. Does anybody on panel know more?
No.
No.
The citizens are pissed, and some of the citizens are kind of rioting and pissed off. I mean, it's a tough situation when everybody is dependent upon that trade, that organization for something in their life, one way or another.
Yeah, and they
It's just
probably are not
unfortunate,
able to get more employment, right, Fatty? They're not able to.
Well, I mean, even the whole economy is based off of that substance.
Sure.
So, taking one guy down, I mean, it's a mythical creature. It's the Hydra, right? With the multiple-headed dragon. Right?
Yeah.
You cut one head off, the thing's still alive.
Right, because someone's just going to go straight back in that person that's been caught down. They're going to jump straight back into their shoes. It's it's actually, even though they're two completely different subjects, it kind of blends in, right, Faye?
Yeah,
I mean, everything about it is, it's a conglomerate. It's a Hydra.
What about
multiple-headed beast?
Is there, Fatty? Is there another one? Like, is it? I don't know much about it, but or this particular drug lord, but are there competing drug lords, or I thought that he was in charge, like he was the only one, like he was the guy, like he's the plug.
Yeah. The organization.
If he was the only one, got to fight your way to the top.
Yeah. I mean, if he's been hiding out for who knows how long, chances are he's not making a lot of shot callers. He's not.
Sure.
He's probably not in the game anymore because he doesn't need to be. But
one way or another, didn't he get escaped from prison? Ow! I got a pinched nerve or something. Ow!
They got to do it. I mean, there's nothing that comes into this country that the government doesn't know about. Say it that way.
Yeah, but isn't the CIA in charge of all that? They, don't they do all that dodgy shit?
Somewhat, but just, between customs and, diplomatic immunity is what it's all about. There's more spent in the Great Lakes and Seattle area than anywhere else in the country. It's not on the southern border. Yeah, there's a lot of it down there. There's more of it up here. Because it's coming in through the ports, through the shipping containers. And these fucking politicians all have diplomatic immunity. They can import and export whatever the fuck they want. Nobody has nothing. No, nothing. No paperwork. No, nothing.
I find it amazing that what's his face was able to escape from prison on a bicycle. What's his name?
Through the tunnel.
Yeah, through a tunnel.
El Chapo. Yeah.
I find that whole lore is really fascinating to me. Like, I don't know how he was able to do. I suppose he's able to do it just through like paying off guards, right? I don't know how that works.
Hard to communicate. I mean, you had a cell phone.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Ing?
Ing, yes.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
He's in
Kyoto. I haven't seen you for so long. Hey,
I know it's been a while.
Sir.
Great.
How
are you?
Happening?
One thing about dragons.
Dragons.
There is not one ancient culture on Earth.
Right.
It doesn't speak of dragons, and most of them speak of them in a positive way.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, why would
I mean, dragons are fascinating, even though they don't really exist. I mean, there's no evidence they've ever existed. There is evidence.
I suppose there's evidence.
I mean, there's yeah, there's lots of things that say that ancient humans saw things flying around in the sky.
They're dangerous
from what
enough
we
to
could
be
tell with
feared.
our knowledge, right? That they were breathing fire.
When you look into the Asian religions, dragons were actually a sign of luck.
Yep.
Wow.
Now,
It's lucky when one of those fuckers shows up.
Yep.
Jesus. All right.
Well, listen,
Well,
yeah, like if a dragon is with you, of course that's good. You know, it's bad for the people
yeah.
you are against.
If they're on your side, that's
Yeah,
kind of. I suppose that's my point. It's like they haven't caused any damage, so they still have the nice baby face image.
Well,
Ian, can you
as
tell us
others-
more about the dragons with all ancient? What you just said.
No, here's one thing. Like what brings dragons down in a sense is the whole Christian religion saying that a snake, you know, made all the difference. It's a reptile. And then somehow, even later on in biblical prophecies, a dragon was always part of being bad.
Okay.
However, there are so many cultures today that see a dragon as a good sign. Okay,
Yeah,
who
there's-
did I put to sleep?
I mean, no, we're just jumping around topics quite a lot. I'm just confused. That's all.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I mean,
listen. I tell you one thing, Mel.
Yes.
I have listened in to your stream so often, and it helped me to fall asleep. Not because it was boring.
Ouch.
But because of the nice voices and people I heard. So falling asleep is nothing bad.
No,
because dragons will be there tomorrow. We can talk about it.
But you know, dragons can be interpreted in many other different ways. Like
100%.
Yeah, dragons, as one of my mods had just told me, can be interpreted as being. Let me just see the exact description because it was quite spot on. Dragon can be used as an informal insult to describe a person, especially a woman, who is considered unpleasant and frightening.
Yeah, that's written by a man. That is written by a man. Yeah. It's a man who can't get laid. That's the bullshit.
No. I've heard it's. No, that was right. I've heard that old term.
Kyoto, you wrote that.
Like,
did you write that?
No, I didn't write it. I'm right.
Well, in this description up, it says the word dragon entered the English language in the early 13th century from Old French dragon, which in turn comes from Latin draco. The meaning was huge serpent dragon. And again, we go back to the ancient Greek mythology, which is fascinating. The Greek Latin term referred to any serpent, not necessarily mythological. The Greek word, I have no idea what the fuck that says, is most likely derived from the Greek verb. Again, I have no idea what the fuck that says. I see, the form of which is referred to a deadly glance or unusually bright or sharp eyes, or because of a snake's eyes appear to be always open, each eye actually sees through big transparent scales in its eyelids, which are permanently shut. The Greek word probably derives from an Indo-European base and blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So that's a really weird stream tonight. We're having a very strange stream tonight. It's a little bit all over the place, right?
The blah, blah, blah won me over.
Blah, blah, blah. But, you know, we try and approach interesting topics on this panel. And we went from the mythical creatures of the world, you know, then we went on to turtles, then we went on to the cartels, now we're back on dragons, and I'm like, Yep, that's pretty much how my brain is tonight.
You know,
the
if you
show
would,
that I do. Go ahead, Ian.
no, if you would have told me earlier today, Mel, I would have showed you all the crests of certain parts in our world that have a
Please don't.
dragon in their. It's part of the crest. You know, like just to think that that's something that never existed. You know, like you wonder why so many cultures believe in dragons.
And I have seen the film Blind, the girl with the dragon tattoo. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great movie. And weirdly, it kind of incorporates all of the subjects that we touched on tonight, that film.
Sorry, I'm late.
Almost.
No, Ian, I love your input. I mean, guys, mythical creatures, you know, or like Ing said, dragons have been incorporated in our cultures, plural, for such a long time. And bearing in mind it's supposed to be a mythical creature, there's no proof that a dragon ever existed. I do wonder what it is supposed to represent. What do you think that a dragon actually represents? What is it a representation of?
Well, here's the thing. Let me take it from a Christian point of view.
Okay.
Christians believe in a creator who sent his son to come here to die for our sins. And Satan, through the Bible, is considered a dragon at every point in time. So I think a lot of it has to do with religion. However,
some of that that reptile theory goes back into the Orient being related to dragons originally, and the comparison between Eastern and Western civilization and religion and culture.
Who is the gentleman who just talks?
That's Fatty. That's Fatty.
That's me, Fatty.
Nice to meet you, sir.
You as well.
So if I can I say one thing to it? Please. There is another piece in all those crests and in mythology and what people believe, and it's the unicorn. A unicorn usually is right next to a dragon. So in a way, those are two entities. We have no proof they ever existed, but it was from the beginning part of our religion, of our thinking.
Well, see,
Blind
asks,
sorry, can I ask this question for the panel? Blind asks, where is Satan referred to as a dragon serpent in the Bible? Carry on.
Revelation. Just start reading it. No, I don't know the exact, but in Revelation, he's the dragon who actually took a third of all the angels down when he rebelled.
And it was referred to as a dragon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Learning.
Well, I don't know anything about the Bible, so this is for you panel to answer.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, this is not my expertise. See,
no, it's not your expertise, but Kyoto, we live with it, so we talk about it.
Yeah, but I'm keeping an open mind. I always try to.
I love Kyoto.
To me, the dragon always represented challenge, because nobody wants to leave it alone. Either anybody wants to kill it or they want to survive it. And it's like, even it's not doing anything. So that's metaphorically what the dragon always sort of meant to me.
100%. And here's one thing. If you travel through Germany today, there's not one city that doesn't have a dragon killing story, and it's all on their, on an output on the little sculptures they have. You would be surprised in Europe what a dragon means. Well, Mel is in Europe. Well, so is Kyoto. What the fuck do I know?
I'm in England. I'm in England, and I've travelled around Europe quite a fair bit. And there is a lot of dragons in our structures.
Yeah,
there is.
Like
It's
when
on
you
the
look
world's
at
flag.
the old cathedrals, like a dragon is always an input of darkness or bad intentions, in a sense.
Wow.
It's
Carry on.
interesting. It's well, how about it almost feels like dragons got famous when other mythical beasts didn't. It's like they got all the love, like gargoyles or griffins or
Yeah,
sort
we
of thing.
went through all those today earlier on about the gargoyles and the fairies and the unicorns and in the comment in our mythology, Northern Lights, Aurora Bora, I don't know how to pronounce that, is fox running
Aurora
around.
Borealis.
Thank you,
The
David.
Northern Lights.
Is fox running around the sky and the lights came from his tail. Interesting, Katie.
Last week, the Northern Lights were so thick again out here on the prairie. You could whistle and make the lights change.
Thank you, Uncle Fetty. I didn't know
Thank
where
you.
it was, but it was in it.
Yeah. That's a hardcore one, man. Yeah. Great and fiery red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 diadems on his heads. His tail drew 1/3 of the stars of heaven and threw them into the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, Revelation's pretty weird, man.
Well, Revelation, compared to the rest of the Bible, has only prophetic value. Like it was never considered being like something that was valued at the time. Like it always had like prophetic nature.
Yeah.
Like what will happen when, you know?
Really a conglomeration of a lot of a lot of pagan stories.
Yes,
a lot
sir.
Of, a lot of Middle Eastern kind of pre-Hindu-ish philosophies and stuff, and the big incorporation of life philosophies at the time. The way I look at it, like a
Blind,
mashup,
I know that,
so to say.
Blind, I know that you take the Bible very seriously, and there was something that you were unsure about. Do you want to tell us?
Oh yeah, I wanted to also say thanks to Fatty. He posted the link, so I was looking at that before it came up. I didn't remember the reference to Satan as a dragon, and a lot of people.
There's stuff in Job too, somewhere in Job, and probably somewhere.
Well, the Revelation
John.
is pretty common. The seven-headed dragon, like that. I can't believe I didn't remember that.
Yeah, but that was a different prophecy because the 7-horned beast was actually a human entity on Earth. So they didn't say it was the devil behind that. Like the beast with the 7 horns and then the different, like it was, I think it had 6 heads and 12 horns. It was actually considered to portray what a human entity on Earth would be that was against God. It was not Satan. The one that said dragon about the dragon that actually spoke about Satan.
So I take it that you are like, you know who John of Patmos is? You believe that the Book of Revelation was written by John the Baptist or John of Patmos?
No, John of Patmos.
Okay, that's what I thought. Since you were saying that it was a human,
No,
that was a.
John the Baptist unfortunately died too early to write a book, but it's John of Patmos who wrote Revelations.
Yeah.
Manage expectations.
You know this, man?
Crispy, do you need to go to bed? You sound terrible, Dom.
I know, sorry.
She got 5 power naps going on stream
As
last
long
night.
as she's
Don't
alive,
be
she
sorry,
can talk.
darling. Don't be sorry. He just meant that you sound so ill, my love. My
No.
Just worried about
I
you.
don't feel that great.
You sound good
Jazzy.
to me.
Hey, Shazzy, my lovely. She's a beautiful unicorn. Is Shazzy? Yes.
Wazzy wazzy.
I mean, I don't know too much about the Bibles, so I can't contribute to this conversation. But so in your readings, dragons represent the devil.
Bible-wise, absolutely. Bible-wise, absolutely.
Evil.
But you said, Ian, that dragons are always looked upon in a positive, like magical.
Not in the Christian way of life. It's every other, like when it's funny, like the early Germanic pagan rituals and everything had to do with dragons a lot, which died down so much because 2,000 years ago the Roman Empire and the Christian influence killed it all off. But of all the religious cultures today, the Asians were the ones who were around the longest. And you know how they always said that it was actually a sign of luck to have a dragon? You know, like a dragon would bring you life, or a dragon would bring you money. Yeah. So like
it
was
help
just
you
different.
in battle. Help you in a battle, in a war, and it would fly in and attack your enemies with fireballs.
Amen.
Sounds like a fighter plane to me. Sounds like a fucking,
Dragon,
I mean, don't get me
bring
wrong.
me flowers. You know we'll leave there.
Black roses, maybe.
No, like I moved last August, so a lot of things are still packed away. I could show you coins that are between 100 to 500 years old that have dragons on the coins, being representing what they believed in and what was actually considered value at the time.
And what civilization are these coins from?
Mostly Asia. Chinese, also in Korea, like ancient ones, and Japan. Dragons were always considered a way to say we have luck and we will succeed. And that's funny. If dragons never existed, where they all got it from, you know?
Yeah. It is the year of the dragon right now as well.
Yeah, amen to that. There's a year of a dragon every 15 years, or not, in the Chinese calendar. Yeah.
Well, have y'all heard? There's I believe the ancient alien theory on is that was like an analogy for a spaceship or something. The way that it roars this big loud noise and shoots fire and all that it could possibly have been like symbology for a UFO. I don't believe
or
that.
something coming and going from outer space, or
they came in, lots of fire. But if you read the Bible, that's actually like the golden carriage that comes down. It has angels on each sides, and Like that's a part of religion all over the world.
Yeah.
So have y'all seen the way? I believe I don't know where. I think it might be the Vatican. Even I know it might be that they were done by like Michelangelo type artists, but there's statues of Moses that have horns on them.
Yes, that's a good point.
What do you think about that?
That's actually a
lot
really
of goat
good point,
horns
sir.
in ancient religions too.
Yeah, and and it's crazy because like the Christian point of view of a dragon is a lot more humanoid than like the generic type of like imagination that we usually have, you know?
Yes, no, it's very. It points to it and makes it special and say this is how it goes. Yeah, like there's no interpretation to it.
Yeah. Well, and it's the reason why I even question too, why when you said that about the dragon and Satan is because a lot of people's common understanding of hell has to do with more of like books like Dante's Inferno than the Bible. Like a lot of that doesn't come from the Bible. Even like a lot of what people believe about the rapture doesn't actually come from the Bible.
The rapture already happened. This is purgatory, bro.
Yes,
we're all fucked. We're all fucked.
It feels like that sometimes. It feels like all the goodness, all the good people left and shit.
No, you get a point there. You have a point.
George Carlin. I'm really convinced that the only reason that humans exist is we were sent by our future selves into the past to come to this planet and harvest oil and make plastic. In the future, we'll be here, right?
Okay.
And we're going to need plastic, right? So we are just the parasite that we sent here. So whether we are actually part of who sent us or whatever God sent us or whatever it is, we have one goal, and that is to create single-use plastic and as much of it as possible. And there's even, Mel, there's news today. They have found micronic plastic in dead men's penises.
Yes, but here's the thing. That might have been.
We are ingesting so much.
So it doesn't really matter.
There's plastic in the coral. There's plastic in the seafood. There's plastic in everything that we eat anymore. Because they're eating plastic too. So now we are becoming plastic.
If I sent myself back to who I am right now, I'm too fat and not good looking. I could do a better job if I can send myself back, sir.
Screw that.
I mean, we're right on track for the plastic plan.
I mean, George Carlin had it right. You know, I think it's all about the plastic.
It's all about plastic.
What's that
Here's
got
a
to the
little,
dragons?
Sorry.
Here's a little 5-minute video about the history and different types of dragons that looks pretty decent.
All those links in the
through this one in the back.
Yeah, I'm just having a look now. Those are the coins, Fader. The second one that you've posted.
Yeah, there's a ton of coins. I mean,
yeah.
That's not
where's
really
it
ancient ones, but
what was that?
In the back chat? If you hit that chat button down at the bottom there.
Oh.
Yes, good links.
Yeah, I just had the coins up.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool shit. Like, I mean,
oh wow!
Yeah,
I like
coins. Let
we
me
make
show
our
them.
own coins up here with our silver mine and shit, and it's some.
You make your own coins. You got your own currency.
It's a hard ass process. Yeah. Oh yeah. Every so right now on Earth, right? Every silver dollar that's ever been minted, right? 1/3 of them ever came from North Idaho.
Really?
Dang.
Used to be a point in time where over half of them came from North Idaho. Yeah. There's mines all over the place up there, old abandoned adits and caves, and yeah, there's shit all over the place. Tons
Do they
of
still
a
produce
decent amount
that?
of gold in the streams, but like no real like alluvial gold. All the gold would be like locked into quartz veins and stuff. But the silver mines are basically just low grade, what would be called low grade gold ore, until you go down, and then we're in this galena layer that is, I mean, really, they're making more money off the lead, off the waste.
So
and
CSO said something here. The ancient world is much more accurate and true than a foreign entity that invaded here and gave us a book of the converse of worlds. There's a point. He has a point.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever know about the gold artifacts, the Egyptian artifacts that were found in the Grand Canyon by the Smithsonian?
No, tell us about it, Blind.
Amen. Amen about that.
There was a time when some like people that were exploring the Grand Canyon found a bunch of and this was in the early 1900s, so it was before it could have been transported over here any kind of practical way that we can think of. But there was a bunch of like I believe it was even like a what are they called, a sarcophagus or something down there.
I remember that. You're right.
Yeah, and they took the information to the Smithsonian, and the Smithsonian was said to have gone and picked it up, and nobody knows whatever happened of it.
They covered it and denied it after.
And that's like from Egypt to here, like Egyptian artifacts to the Grand Canyon, like that's wild.
Yes, sir.
But I think the world is like, man, I believe the world's way smaller and way different than what we think. I think that it runs on a cycle, kind of like a computer where they can manipulate what is going on, you know?
I mean, I don't know. These like unanswered questions that we all have, you know, how do things travel from one country to another without the means? I don't know. And, you know, I've always been told whenever I have these questions that haven't got answers, I've always been, I've been told aliens.
Right.
Yeah, go on, Blind. Yeah. Blind, come.
Well, no, I think that's like everybody's answer for most things, but it's crazy because some of the questions just really don't have an answer. How planes don't use a globe-oriented map. Like planes use a flat map. And that's crazy. Like, it don't make any sense. Or like the way the plane suspends itself from the orbit of the Earth, supposedly while it's traveling, and then the undercarriage isn't ripped out of it by the rotation of the Earth if it's spinning. Like, and these are common sense things that we're taught as a kid, but if we don't ever question them, we don't ever like realize that they don't make sense.
That's a fair question, sir.
So what's the answer? What's the answer? I don't know what the answer is. What's the answer? Ing, you tell me, do you have the answers?
No.
No?
No, I don't. Hey, listen, Mel, we lost 2 world wars. I'm German. So what the fuck?
I'm half German.
No, but he makes a lot of sense. No, it's a good question. Like, so many things we don't have answers for, but it it actually brings us to the point that we think about it.
Yeah.
Like
What do
I
you
said
think about
earlier-
numerology?
No, go
Say
ahead,
again?
Lawrence.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was
say
going to say
again.
Lauren. Go ahead, Lawrence.
I was just asking what you guys think about numerology, because what's wild about everything, like to me, at its apex, is that it all seems to add up to 666, 666, 666, 666, like everywhere.
Yes, if you look for it, you know that many calculations end up 777 and 888. You know what the difference is? 666 is Satan, 777 is God on earth, and 888 is God in heaven. So you can find those additions and mathematics all over the place.
Yeah.
And in a way, no, here's one thing. If there is a creator that gave life to this universe and to us all, don't you think he gives us a way to live? And I believe it's the Bible. However, that's just me. Everyone else can think differently.
No, we
What do
have.
you mean?
No.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead, Ing, because that's fascinating. We do have a resident numerologist or a couple that do come to this channel, and we've had many a panel about that. So, Ing, please carry on.
Yeah, numerologist, like everyone that says, "Oh, you have to count this up," and at the end of the day, the Bible is not a
Fatty
book.
nipples. Fatty nipples. Thank you.
The use of
Sorry, Ing.
my
It's
big
the
hairy
thing between
ass.
me and Fatty. I'm very drawn to his nipples. I like his nipples. I'm sorry.
nipples mean everything.
No, carry on, Ing. I interrupted you.
No, here is the thing about Bible teachings. At the end of the day, we all come from somewhere and going somewhere. If there's a creator, then there's a way for us to follow it. The Bible is not a book. The Bible is actually consisting of 66 books written by 60 people within 1500 years. And it's the only book you can actually read and receive from in every language, in every country on the earth. And when I look what people believe in to say, "Oh, it's all aliens and all this shit," like this has less backup than the Bible.
Interesting.
I think the Bible is God's word.
Yeah. In some ways, for sure.
Well, Fatty, you're a man of, you're ordained. You must agree, right?
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time in that book. And,
what's his name?
It's Epiphania. It's, I can open the big book from AA and get something out of it. I can open any book and get something out of it if I'm looking for it.
Yes.
Not to discredit it at all. It's anymore. I look at it as a toolbox. There's a bunch of tools in there, right? And if the expectation at the end of the goal of the thing, the resolve, the expectation that needs to be managed is that within ourselves. Every it's the difference between reading the Bible alone and reading it with somebody else in a small group, or being sermonized to, being preached to. There's different ways of interpretation. You know, when we're in it alone and we're seeking inner things, I would look at it from Dom's point of view. What is it that you're seeking? Right? When we're in a small group or even a large group, and we're into the Bible, and we're into the books of any culture, of any language, of any religion, there's not one of them that says why we're here. And most of them only say that we're here to love each other.
So can I ask a question?
Good, right? So
can I ask a question? So you think the Bible doesn't tell us why we're here?
Yeah. No, I think it does.
Okay.
I think the ultimate goal is of, at least, again, part of the problem, part of a really, really, really huge problem in all of this talk, especially online, is Judeo-Christianism. When we're talking about Old Testament, okay, we have to make the distinction. Okay, I 100% follow every red letter verse as close to possible, right? Those are the words that were spoken by the man himself. The verses in the red letter Bible are Jesus's words, spoken by his disciples, his best friends that were there that heard him, So, when we think about Christianity and we start pulling up Revelations, we start pulling up Genesis, like we're talking about like pre-dawn, pre-history, beginning of Judaism. So we're not, we're talking about prophecy, and we're talking about the Messiah who's prophesied to come. And when we're talking about real Christianity, what I get out of it is that Jesus was the first anarchist, socialist, rebel who said, fuck the government, fuck authority, straight up, okay, in their faces. He was a badass. I think he actually did walk the earth. The divine birth and stuff, I've got a lot of different opinions on that. So,
May I ask this gentleman a question, please? May I ask this gentleman a question, please? So I don't know, what's your name? I'm Ing.
It's Patty.
Nice to meet you.
It's Pat, but I'm just super.
Hi, Pat. Nice to meet you, sir. No,
for sure.
So do you say there's a difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament?
Well, there is, yeah. And there has to be a distinction, I think, when we talk about these things, because when we're talking old school, Old Testament, we're talking the hopefulness, the desire, the prophecy that the Messiah will come, right? When we're talking New Testament, we're talking now that the prophet has come, right? The prophesied one, the Messiah has come, and most of the other folks don't believe that he's actually the Messiah. So there's the distinction that Old Testament, New Testament, that, so to say, the Jews don't believe that Jesus was the prophet, that he was the Messiah, that they're still waiting for that, right? So, that's cool.
I actually, when you read the Bible, believe that the Jews knew he was the Messiah, but didn't like his his message.
And King Herod and the whole bit, and then Constantine, and it's. But when we break it down to beyond the political, to beyond the money and the power, the red letter verses will never steer you wrong, because it's all about love your neighbor. It's all about sell your possessions. No, dude, give your possessions away. Give everything you have. Give your heart and your soul, everything you have, to the less fortunate, and there will be no less fortunate. That's how we save the fucking world. That's what unity is all about. I think when it comes to the actual red letter verses, I mean, they got all of the best stuff right out of all the other religions, and they put it into the New Testament. Or Jesus was just really fucking based, and just really like mellow carpenter, like myself, who's just kind of like, you know what? Fuck the government. Fuck taxes. Fuck telling anybody what to do. Right? Personal liberty. Jesus was all about personal liberty, individual freedoms. To be what you want to be and not be judged. And yes, we have to make judgments in life to protect ourselves from bad people and safe situations, but like, we don't have to be the one to throw the first stone. I have a real hunch Jesus was actually born again on the stroke of midnight on Y2K. His name is Jesus. His name is Jesus, right? He's been stuck at the Mexican border trying to get into America for like 13 years. Okay, he's down at the fucking river teaching people how to fish, right? And teaching people how to break bread, right? And washing people's feet. Because that's what he did. And I don't know one Christian around me up here that says anything less than my Jesus trumps your Jesus. And my God doesn't create gay things. Well, fucking bullshit.
I'm dying.
So.
Fatty, can I ask you a question? When Jesus, before Fatty.
Are y'all hearing like a weird sound? Like,
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. That's all the word I have.
No, you're not muted.
Mel on the phone.
What was that?
No, I mean, I spent
you
a couple
weren't
years.
muted.
I was in the kitchen. You could hear me from the kitchen?
Yeah, I could hear you.
A little bit.
Not very well.
Oh my God, this laptop is better than I expected. You can hear me from the kitchen. No, I was just talking to Crispy about some stuff.
What make is it? And
yeah,
how much did it cost?
No, it's a really old one. It doesn't even work properly. And I didn't realize that the speaker could pick me up from the kitchen. I was trying to make tea, and I'm talking to Crispy about some drama that's going on in the background. Carry on, Faye. I'll mute.
Yeah, we got all the background.
I don't know what the fuck is going on tonight.
Well, how about this? We want to talk about psyops and conspiracies these days, right?
Right.
No, Fatty, let me ask you one question.
Yeah, please.
When Jesus came to earth, before he started his service for God, he went into the desert for 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And Satan tested him. How did he test him?
He said he would make him a prince of the earth.
Ways. Offerings. Basically all it was. Offerings.
No. Satan only quoted sentences and thoughts from the Hebrew scriptures. He only quoted scripture. And Jesus only answered him with scriptures from the same piece.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
Well, because
here's before I let go. Here is one thing. When Jesus came to earth and the devil tested him, all the devil brought to him was the Hebrew scriptures that we consider today as the Old Testament. And Jesus replied to him, quoting the Old Testament.
Well, it was, and I can't even think of it right now why, but it was my understanding that he had specifically offered to make him the prince of the earth.
No.
That he would.
You know why? Lucifer was actually a very powerful angel from the beginning. And Jesus knew him because Jesus was the Son of God even before he was on earth. The only thing they debated was God's word.
Man, I have to revisit that. If that's true, that's very
Look into it. It's in the 4 evangelic books of the New Testament. The first 4 books speak about this. The only time Jesus ever spoke to Satan was Satan bringing up God's word and Jesus going against him with God's word.
Man, that's amazing. And I just wanted to say before we do switch topics or anything, Fatty, that was a beautiful declaration.
Daddy, what you said was very nice. 100%.
Yes.
100%.
Oops. You guys ever seen an exorcism in real life?
No, I've seen bits and pieces of videos, but I feel like it's blasphemous, honestly.
Fatty,
there's some real
to
energy
tell you
out
something.
There.
I'm
There's some real
fighting
shit out there
Satan.
that
I'm
we have
fighting
no clue
Satan.
about.
I'm fighting Satan all my life.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people are. I think there's
everyone is.
You know, there's.
Oh no, man! I've always. It's weird because I was an atheist. Not only an atheist, but I started reading the Bible specifically to disprove it. Like I went into reading the Bible because I liked being able to quote it back to people when I debated them on religion.
You know, the thing about that is though, especially online, the Bible is not a box of ammunition.
Well, that's what it turned me into a Christian when I actually read it with an open heart. Like it completely changed my life, man. But I've realized that God has been with me my entire journey, because I've had some of the crazy. I've seen evil in real life, though. Like I've seen probably what would amount to the human form of Satan himself. Shoot.
Did evil just show up?
What do you mean? Like now?
Good evening,
or
my
at
lord. Good evening, my lord. I was just thinking that I need somebody to pull some cards for me. And then Dandy shows up. I love it. You know, I kind of see it like this. There was a minister that said there's a series where these scientists are sitting down with these priests of different denominations, including Buddhists and Hindus and Hindis and Hare Krishna guy says, you know, we're all space dust. We're all made of the same shit. Okay, we're all made of the same whatever it is that makes up everything that we know. Okay. There's
That's what the
positive and
Bible
negatively
says
charged
from the
particles.
beginning. We are made of dust.
Yeah. We get to choose our polarity. That's what's special about humanity, is we get to choose to be positive or negatively charged.
100%.
And at least from what we know in science, right? Positive attracts negative.
So do y'all think it's a sin to not be reverent to Shem the way that we're taught that it is?
Well, again, like I would think from Dominic's point of view, like which sin, where do you drive your basis of sin? You know, where's the programming that tells you what a sin is? Because to a Buddhist that hasn't spoken for 35 years and is living on top of a mountain in Tibet, he's going to have a lot different, idea of what something bad is compared to me.
Well, and that's what blows my mind about that whole thing. I don't know if y'all been seeing, but there's a lot of talk that not here in the United States, though. This is really kind of more like out on the other side of the world. That they're saying that Christians have been anti-Semitic from the beginning and stuff, and I don't see how they can even, or that America has been anti-Semitic. I don't see how anybody could ever say that. Like, we're taught that they're the chosen people, even above us.
Don't use the Catholic Church and their crusades and their anti-Semitic movement. It was never what the Bible taught.
Exactly. And the crusades weren't about specifically killing Jewish people, like
no, that was about, conquest and manifest destiny. But, when we talk about the control of the power,
crusades only lasted 200 years. So
right.
we can
and
go
that was
over
driven
it.
by
But
man. That was man's interpretation at the time.
The
Just
Catholic
like
Church
right now,
hasn't learned from it at all.
No, not at all. At least they gave some land back to the Canadian tribes and stuff, but I mean, America is
I'm not
3/4
even
of it's
Canadian.
freaking Mexico originally.
I'm
so
a landed immigrant from Germany.
Well, I'm half German also, so I'm half German and half Mexican.
I love you.
well,
Mexican.
just for general reference, while we're halfway on the topic, every country in the world needs immigrants.
100%.
Yeah.
So there's just our economy and our manifest of our destiny.
The illegal immigrants to the U.S.
How about this? Our expectations, right, are bigger than what we can chew.
Amen.
Right? We have these grand delusions of grandeur and these desires for these things that's why we have to project what we're going to be able to actually make in future terms. We can't just figure out what we have now, that we know there's expansion. Every country needs more laborers, more people, more, so it becomes
Well, we're finding out that everything that we're told about population, that's been inaccurate, about birth rates, that's been inaccurate, about it's crazy because the world is actually underpopulated and we're not producing enough kids to replace the generations that are passing away.
That's not quite true. Because
somewhat, because the boomers are dying off, but the main thing is that we're just not teaching the kids.
150,000 children under the age of 5 die of not having enough to eat.
Yeah, there's 420,000 kids under 18 available for adoption in America.
Yeah, and that's the way that they trick you with this, or that they skew the statistics, because that isn't a matter of not being enough food to eat. That's a matter of greed. That's a matter of
greed. Amen.
Yeah, because once you let's even be as generous as needed and say $500 million. Once you hit the mark of $500 million, what do you need to hoard more money for? Possibly. Like, what on earth could you possibly need to hoard more money than that? Like, so all this creation of billionaires and stuff is insane. Like it really just makes no practical sense. And if anything, I think that in all like seriousness, I think that people should take that back when it comes to anything over a certain point, like an agreed upon point, because that's crazy, man. And it starves off half of the world.
This goes against capitalism, you know. What are you, an anti-capitalist?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, but in a way not, because if we're gonna do capitalism, then we need to do full-blown capitalism, and like that's why I hate the war on drugs, because drug dealers are entrepreneurs, and it's the messed up laws that create the shady, messed up environment. If you were just to let people have a free market, because like if you have no education and no like background with the powers that be, you can't. There's no place to just like start creating wealth right now. But the underground drug market is the one and only place where you can do that, and that's why young people turn to that to generate wealth, because it's a free market, but it's illegal.
Nine cones, dude.
So we have like a half capitalistic society. We have a society that's only capitalist for the top earners, and for everybody else, they have to kind of fit into the.
Fatty,
Go ahead.
Fatty, do you
Certain
know?
years when we get a
Fatty,
real cold snap in like late October, early November, the huge pine cones will fall off the top of the white firs, and that in that same year we'll find them piled up into like small pyramid shaped, kind of like you would stack of like golf balls, you know what I mean, but like chest high.
Yeah.
Right,
Fatty,
chest high.
can I
on
ask
me.
you something,
Like,
Fatty?
so I think
Please?
Bigfoot's deal currency with white fir pine cone.
Really? Are you serious? Or are you joking?
For real? No, 100% for real. I'm for real right now. Yes.
And is like what would be what's the one underlying value of a pine cone to a Bigfoot?
It's like an artichoke.
Oh, they eat them, or they
Yeah,
could.
you
You'd think that they.
snap them off and scrape the bottom tooth, and you get like a peanut size worth, you know, whatever scraping of nut, whatever out of them, pine nut.
Oh, so you're telling me that it looks like something set down and feasted on all these things and stacked them
Almost
up
more
and
like a squirrel. Like a squirrel was stashing them underneath like a big limb or something. You know, you won't find them out in the open. You'll find them like in little stash spots, like little caches, right?
Dang.
But like there's no way it was a squirrel, dude. There's absolutely no way a freaking squirrel would build a pile that big, let alone not eat them all before he puts them there. They eat them up in the tree and they drop them down half eaten. So like,
Well, you know what I think.
I mean, they're like as big as your forearm, dude. They're like sequoia size. You know, go out and get them for wreaths and stuff. For making wreaths at Thanksgiving time.
My true thoughts on Bigfoot, like seriously, are this. I think it's a possibility, at least, that there's many different forms of human. That these lizard people could possibly exist. You know, they say that there's a part of the brain that is still like lizard oriented or comes from the lizard. I think that.
Why do we get the hiccups?
Huh?
Why do we get hiccups?
I don't know why.
It's leftovers from being amphibians and lizards.
Okay, well, I know they say the pineal gland is a part of that system too.
Yeah, I don't think that thing actually exists.
Yeah, I don't know. They say that whatever it is, that it has all of the characteristics of an eyeball, but without being able to see. So I don't know. I mean, I don't.
The MRI machine here at my local office. I get to see him quite often, but brain scans are fucking weird, man.
Yeah, my brother had brain cancer. My brother had a low-grade glioma on his brainstem, one of the rarest brain tumors you can have, and it's crazy. Like that whole experience was fucking.
I'm sorry about that, Blind. Is he okay now?
No, he passed away. I took care of him for 4 years. Yeah, thank you. He's gone, but it was the whole thing, like learning about the brain and how it works, and then hearing his like because I was 22 from it was from the age 22 to 26, and like experience it all beside him, and he was smart, so he was able to articulate everything he was going through. It was crazy. A very profound experience, to be honest, like with his thoughts on death and all that.
Yeah, man, that's I got quite a few buddies that are paraplegic and lost limbs and whatnot in Gulf War and all the different Gulf Wars. It's all about mindset, man. Fucking one random high five will change the world.
Yes,
I'm gonna high five all of you, and I'm gonna lay down. I don't feel very good, but thank you. I'll see you guys
Have a good
later.
night.
Good night.
Hope you feel better, Crispy.
Okay, love you guys. See you guys.
Love you too.
Bye bye.
I still want to ask Fatty a question.
You want me to sing a NoFX song?
Oh hell yeah! Stick it in my eye.
Happy birthday, you're not special. Everyone thinks you're an asshole. That's why
I
we're
don't even
here
know
to
how old
embarrass
I am.
you.
Who cares?
So happy fucking birthday, you're not special.
Fatty, what's this video that I haven't played?
Oh yeah, that was a little 5-minute deal explainer about the Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon.
Well, it's 22 minutes long, right?
Is that one? Oh well.
Yeah.
No, it was only supposed to be a 5-minute.
Oh no, this one's
maybe
22 minutes
before that. Either way, you could play the first minute of that one.
Oh, okay.
And we could go through it a little bit too.
Obviously, you lot were talking really deeply. I didn't want to
one did have a good intro, but yeah, there's a ton of Egyptian stuff in the Grand Canyon. Over 2/3 of the Grand Canyon is shut down. I mean, it's so reclusive, anyways. You wouldn't necessarily want to be out there, but the giant bones is what's always gotten me about America too. Is Smithsonian's definitely got tons of giant bones, and yeah, they're not giving up the ghost on that shit.
Dude, you know the Ripley. Have you ever been to a Ripley's museum?
No, but every year I'd buy the Ripley's, believe it or not, the world's greatest, the Guinness Book and whatever for my kids.
Oh yeah,
got a whole shelf of whatever the past 30 years or something of all of them.
Right here, like not even 5 miles from where my apartment. We have one of those, the museum, and they have a giant in there. And dude, it's a wax figure, but it's like super realistic, and it's so huge. It's like it's not you can't even fathom meeting a person that big. Like
yeah, like the size of fucking Sasquatch.
Yeah, like it's like not even a human at that point. It's like a whole different thing.
Faye, Woo Rider's dog said Egyptian mummies found in the Grand Canyon, and that section is blocked off to the public. I didn't know that. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that
there's a bunch of pre-flood stuff like up around into Utah, like north of Colorado. The Grand Canyon kind of spurs off up into like Moab, the Moab area, and then north up into, well, kind of into the Wasatch, into Salt Lake.
Nothing like that is blocked off to the
But parts of the Grand
officials.
Canyon are 100%
Ah.
no access. Like they don't want people out there. And now that guys are flying drones that can go up to a couple miles away from where you're at with Wi-Fi signal, they're finding all kinds of shit in the Grand Canyon and up around in Utah as well, in Moab and the Arches National Park. There's some cool shit there. Holy crap!
The drones, dude.
Pre mega flood quarries, dude. Where's that one? Oh, you got to see this thing. There's a freaking rectangle that's been carved out of the mountain on top of this. Oh, dude, where is that? Yeah.
It's like the Nazca lines or what?
Yeah, Nazca.
So what did
Yeah,
they find?
so that's South America, and that's where the there's the animal creatures and stuff, but then there's the long lines as well in Nazca. That, and Peru, that's Peru's at like 12,000 feet, bro. That's like 4,000 meters. But basically, what's going on is they're saying that there's a pyramid, that there's an actual carved, not block built pyramid, the size of the Great Pyramid in the Grand Canyon. And there's all kinds of hieroglyphs that have been found. There's files and stuff leaked that the government knew about it, and the Smithsonian especially is finding and hiding or whatever, concealing evidence type of shit. So, but
dude,
that's
what.
There's
the dinosaur. Once you find out that dinosaur, or what are they like the exhibits at museums, like that those are all freaking fake. Like it kind of just makes you think, like, wow, dude, like art or is any of it real?
Yeah, I've actually there's a bunch of spots up around here where there's some really killer fossil areas. One of the best places in the world, the third best place for the world, is just right outside, I don't know, an hour away from me in Montana, for shark teeth.
Oh, Montana's where I always figured Bigfoot lived, if he was alive.
It's weird that the border of Idaho and Montana is the Continental Divide. And the further you get into Montana, it's like coming out of Colorado into Kansas. Turns from super mountain to hills to flat farmland, big sky country. So it's super diverse, where all the way down that ridge to the Grand Canyon, the Continental Divide is that whole entire section, and pretty reclusive, man. You get out there, you don't hear any, you barely hear the airplanes. Imagine not knowing what airplanes are. Like the tribe that just came out of the freaking Amazon a couple weeks ago, dude. Right? There's that no contacted tribe that humanity stayed away from, right? And they caught them doing some freaking airplane rituals out on the beach again, right?
They killed Rockefeller. They killed one of the Rockefeller guys. That tribe.
Yeah, that went and tried to do a story on them.
Yeah, they fucking killed him and ate him. That's crazy.
Henry Ford's grandson is super big into the Hare Krishna movement and has dumped like close to $3 billion with a B, $3 billion into the temple. That's the new temple that's being built in northern India. Dude, the temples in India are like, make the Catholic churches look like freaking Lincoln logs.
Have you been to India?
No, but my daughter did a semester abroad over there, and was that 2013 or 14, and with architecture program, and traveled around and went over to Europe and did another semester in Europe, and then my other daughter did another. She did hers down in Peru, and went down to Santiago, and then down into Kutzku or whatever. But I mean, like the old quarries, dude. There's no way that ancient man quarried these things, that we chiseled these things with copper and rock. Like, it's just not.
Yeah, copper. That's
Ancient
crazy.
architecture is badass. I'm super huge into the architecture side of things, where, you know, I've been building things my whole life. When I see things like Machu Picchu and the freaking, like, the stones that.
Well, let me ask you this: as a person that has like a understanding of how things are built, do you think that there's any functionality to the pyramids, or like, can you think of any kind of functionality that they would have that's practical? Like, because it seems like it's an aesthetic thing to me.
If you fill up the center of it with hydrogen peroxide, dump a bunch of copper sulfite down the one thing that they think is an air tube, it'll create a rhythmic vibrational slamming in the chamber of all that liquid. As it boils and does its thing, it slams up against the top of that roof with all the red granite, 10-foot tall, 100 million fucking pound in the center of this thing, right? That roof system, as that water slams up against it, creates a rhythm, and then whatever it is with the copper sulfides, like the ancient batteries.
Okay.
Where you get the little scroll of copper inside the vinegar, right? And it creates like a little positive charge, like electrical charge.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. I tell you one thing. In the pyramid where the sarcophagus of like the dead pharaoh was positioned, had the best inclination for him not to rot.
But we never found any mummies in any pyramids.
No, you don't.
Yeah, there's never, not one.
Not the point. They had pyramids and made like small ones, and actually proved to the fact at the point where the sarcophagus was of the pharaoh was at a point where he doesn't rotten as far or as fast as anyone else.
What you just said is the same, like the same kind of assumption as what Fatty just said. Because there's never been there's finished pyramids. Like, there's no reason, if they were used for that, there should have been bodies in them. Like, at least one. And there never was. Like, just because it would be.
That's a good point. They actually never found a dead body in it.
So it's like, what?
There's no inscriptions. There's no. There's no ceremony.
Yeah, there's no inscriptions. There is no hieroglyphs. Nothing.
And that's. I don't know. To me, I think they were batteries.
To me, they seem more. It seems more like a visual representation of how society runs or something.
Yeah.
Like the first kind of fucking statue is like a visualization of an ideal.
The pyramids are pre-flood.
Oh yeah, for
sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Shit, there might be pre-civilization.
You know what?
Well,
we read it in the Bible. Even the demons had bodies and ran around in the world. Here's one thing. You know what the Bible says that God would step in again if it gets as bad as it was before the flood. That's actually in the Bible.
Yeah, Baalbek, the stones are the biggest stones that are in any structures are underneath, like the Greek foundations of the temples and the.
Since Adam and Eve, the only time God stepped in was the flood. And he will step in again if it ever gets this birth. So you can only imagine how bad it was back then.
What you were just saying about you said that even the demons had bodies or something like that, right?
Yes.
Have y'all heard about what happened when you know how night vision is green? I can't remember.
That's not the point. The point is they actually at that point, according to the Bible, an angel could be in a body, and they could not do it after the flood. That's what the Bible teaches.
There's I don't remember exactly where it happened, but when they were developing night vision goggles, the first creation of them was red tinted, and whatever man, it's I don't wanna be making all this up, so I'm not like exactly positive how it went down, but supposedly the very first time they were put into use, they were seeing all kinds of like flying with the goggles on, seeing all kinds of like flying demons and stuff in the middle of a war. Like you can look it up. I'm not sure exactly what the details are, but it was freaking crazy. And it's just like I don't know.
I know about that, and you're absolutely right. This was a time on Earth with all the humans existing where God stepped in and
yeah. No, I'm sorry. My point was just adjacent to yours. I wasn't commenting on that.
I'm not attacking you. No.
Yeah.
You were absolutely right. I'm just adding to it.
But yeah, I believe that for some reason I want to say that there was like giants and stuff before God stepped in, like there was all kinds of crazy creatures running amok.
Well, the Bible says that before the flood, demons could have bodies and actually have children with the women back then, and they were called the Titans.
Does the Bible recommend these Titans?
The Bible says it says it in the Bible.
The gods thought the human bitches were hot, so they were banging the human bitches, and then God was like, "No more banging the human bitches."
Dang.
About how it went down.
Well, here's the thing. There's also a promise in the Bible about this, because it says if it ever gets this bad, God will step in again.
Well, and this is but without using water, right? That it wouldn't be with water at least.
Right.
If I'm not.
No.
New school
I'm not
stuff
saying
says that Jesus will come back with a sword of fire, a sword of flame.
Yes.
I want to go to
So
Ireland too. There's the.
I don't get a chance to talk to people. I don't really get a chance to talk to people with education on this stuff. So I want to know why I got y'all here. What do y'all think? Well, let me ask you this about the Have y'all heard about like the tribes, the 12 tribes, about this one of them having the identity stolen? Like I don't want to be too specific, but do y'all know what I'm referring to?
Yeah, but here's the difference about the 12 tribes. The 12 tribes didn't exist before the flood.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't, and that's just it.
Because Abraham was
Here's one thing. according to the Bible, Adam was 930 years old before he died. Enoch was 956 years old before he died. The people had different outlines at that time of age, according to the Bible.
What if
God stopped all of this with the flood?
if we divide those years of how old the old schoolers lived, if we divide those years by month, or actually by full month,
don't even go there, Fatty.
No,
it does.
No, because no, Fatty, in the Bible, being 66 books, a year was always a year.
Yeah, so
right.
that
we're talking old school, like
no, but I mean old school. Our
like the guys that
Creator
live to
gives
be like
us a layout that we live on. Here's the thing: before the flood, this world was so bad that actually God came and made a difference.
Well, what made it so bad?
That all the demons the follower of the Satan, who is Lucifer, the angel of light, they were all having real bodies. God stopped that in the flood. Bible says it. And since then, the Bible says if it ever gets this bad, God will step in again.
And do you think we're getting close or what?
No, we are close. I think we are close. But if Trump
you think Trump is going to save us?
No. I think, you know what? I think Harris would beat him. I'm not even voting. I can't even vote in Canada. I'm actually, my only citizenship is German and I live in Canada. What the fuck do I know? But just wait. Harris will beat him. Just wait.
Oh man, that's a horrible fucking prediction.
You don't want a woman be in charge? You know what?
No, she wouldn't be in charge of anything. Well, the thing is that look, is that they're all puppets. Trump just has a kernel of real human left in him that still has like a desire to do right by the other human. And Kamala Harris is just like Hillary Clinton and Biden and Obama. They're fucking full-blown puppets.
Just look at it. Do you think God wants Trump as president?
Oh, goodness gracious. That's a wild question.
God's been working against Trump his whole damn life.
Think
everything
I
all
don't
uphill,
think
either. Snow both ways. Everybody in the whole fucking world's against him. He's the only one that's doing anything right ever. Just a shining bright example of what humanity should be. This is what I want to show my fucking grandkids. It's this man right here.
Oh.
Give me a fucking break.
Okay, Fatty, you saying this. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been better in the last 2,000 years than today?
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, I'm blind. I can say, yeah, I have.
Depends on your definition of better.
Yeah, let me tell you something. In the year 1800, everyone on Earth had a life expectancy of 30 years.
Oh, well, you're talking about as a society. I thought you were saying individually, because I've had better days, shit.
No, I'm just saying, what are we really aiming at here right now.
No, you're right. It's just the problems are different. They just like mix up what the problems are. But you're absolutely right.
What are the problems? What you look
Well,
like?
right now,
What you look like?
yeah, it's all social issues right now. It's all social.
That's what you look like. That's social
Identity
issues.
politics. It's identity
Yeah.
politics. This is all a game being used against us. It's called divide and
Exactly.
conquer. And we can't fucking buy into it.
We are all human beings, no matter what background, no matter what nationality, no matter what sexual orientation. What are we really fighting about?
Let me answer this with a question, or with a proposal, maybe. Let's just take a round number, 1,000. Okay. Let's just say there's 1,000 gods. All 10 of us here pick a different one. How about this? The 9 of you, I'll pick a different one. I'll pick none.
I got
What
Zeus.
is the difference? What is the difference between us? Okay.
Zeus got lightning bolts.
1,990, right? Is it 990? Or is it just one? Okay, the difference between everybody on Earth, the only difference between everybody.
Agenda is the difference.
Is one thing.
Or intention.
It's not. No, it's not. It's our choice of how we judge and why we judge and what God tells us to judge in what way.
Well, some people accept being told how to judge or what their purpose is or what their accomplishment is, what their goal is. So, like,
the question comes down to, what is it that divides us? What is it that is keeping us away from actual unity?
Read the Bible. It says
It's fear.
The whole world is in the hands of the wicked, Satan.
Yeah.
That's what divides us.
There's a story.
That's
ladder,
only because of the yin and the yang, because there has to be balance.
No.
There will be
that's
balance.
the
Mother Nature demands balance when it comes down to it.
You know what's crazy that you say that, because the oldest book, it wasn't even a book. I got to see a copy of a book. It was like it was the book on a book, and it said that the oldest religion in existence is the religion of balance, the religion of yin, not yin and yang specifically, because that's like Asian, but like the religion of like two opposing balancing forces. And I think that it's crazy because a lot of things are based on that. Like pretty much everything is based on that.
Positive has to have a negative to exist. But a negative doesn't have to have a positive to exist.
That's true. Well, a negative can't exist if a positive is present, right?
No, and you can't kill energy. Right? We were talking about this last night with talking about, what people do with parts of people that they unalive and chop up, right? Even our bones, man, right? Like the food that we waste.
Yeah.
The plastic that we waste, that we create, all this energy that we're putting into creating plastic, so we can throw it in a landfill.
And the ocean.
There's something to it. There's something to that right there.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the spraying aluminum in the atmosphere?
100%.
On a nice bluebird morning, and the jet flies over the top of the ski resort, and you see that contrail, it's a good luck sign.
Who wants to live in a ski resort, Patty? Who wants to live?
Yeah, but they don't actually leave, like, they don't make clouds up here.
Yeah.
Because it's so cold in the winter, and like even in the summer they don't Like they'll leave a stripe, but it doesn't dissipate. It doesn't turn into vapor like it does down south where it's hot.
There's an argument about how often it happens, but it's been proven that they do and they have, and supposedly it's to lower the temperature of the Earth by leaving microscopic reflective pieces of aluminum to shoot back the sun's light.
I've seen them on days where they do. They'll see the whole damn sky, and it's either a huge conspiracy with the fuel manufacturers putting something in the fuel, right? Because there's no switch that the pilot can just turn on or off, right? It's not like that. No, it's deep state, right? Not just deep state. Now we're talking like quadruple level, multi sub-level basement deep state, right? I don't buy it. I don't think we're that fucking. I don't think we have the technology. If we can't even get to the fucking moon, okay, then how are we supposed to fucking be seeding our own atmosphere? Are you kidding me?
Well, because the reason we can't get to the moon is because of the Van Allen radiation belts. It's not because of technology. It's just because there's nothing on Earth that could possibly withstand that radiation.
Well, maybe that's a sign of God.
Our Mars helicopter just got operational again yesterday. We just got contact back with our Mars helicopter. For real,
that's ridiculous. That's cartoonishly.
They found white granite. They found white granite on Mars a couple weeks ago.
Have you ever went over the photos? I took a look at those Mars photos, and there's so many flaws in them photos. That's Earth. That's like Earth.
All of them that come out every single day. All the new ones.
Yeah, but they're wild. That's not Mars. I know that.
We can discuss Mars and the pictures every day. Here's one thing every scientist alive today can tell you, that in the whole universe and above, there's only Earth that can sustain life. That's the end of it.
James Webb Telescope is saying there's probably about 500 million planets that we found in the past couple of years
that we couldn't be on. Similar. Bullshit. Not one is prepared to hold human life.
One of the Jupiter moons does have actual H2O water on it.
No, it didn't.
What?
Yeah, for real, it does.
I didn't know that.
All they said is
if
we put some effort into it, then it could be. That's what they said.
Well, have they
one planet?
I just for 1 second I cannot even start to believe that all of these people working all these jobs, building all these machines, putting all this energy and all this effort into building these machines is just a fucking
touch by our creator for us.
Just a what? Just a what?
The whole thing about a psyop is just the words psyop are the psyop.
Oh, thank God they had a good word about
it. Hold on.
Difference.
Because it isn't. No, okay, first of all, it's very easy. People say, "Oh, a group that big couldn't keep a secret." That's so ridiculously stupid because gangs do it.
We're talking worldwide though, and we're talking multi-religions, and we're talking Cold War. Okay.
Yeah, but we're talking about compartmentalization to a degree that makes it infinitely easier. No, it makes it easier because all you have to do is because supposedly Stanley Kubrick was the guy that filmed, and there's all kinds of indicators that this is true with like bubbles and the footage, and then all of the data being lost from the Apollo missions and all that. So what do you call it? all you have to do is have this guy create this. Because you see, NASA's a $1 billion industry. Like,
No.
and
No. Trillions.
go on. I listen.
Trillions and trillions of dollars. And they're
Okay.
not the only ones. Okay. The problem is right now is why did NASA give all their shit back to private?
Because that's what they do. They're just like fucking doing the thing where you like move your hands around and say like, or like the the 3 card in Monty. Like that's
Shell
all they're
game.
doing. Yeah, like look over here and this is going on and Elon
Why are
Musk
so
is
many-
gonna.
It's not just Elon though. Why are so many private companies putting so much money and effort into this? Right. And we got to think on a worldwide scale. Okay. We are small pickings in the game. Okay.
America
Other countries are really into this stuff. Okay. And you know what they're leaving out in space?
Fucking
Garbage.
Astro. That's what I was gonna say. Fucking poop.
Garbage. Okay. We know our competitors have been to these places because when we actually make it there and find their garbage, right?
Well,
then we can
yeah.
confirm that, right? Because if there was no garbage there, then we would say, hey, where's your fucking garbage, bro?
Yeah, but look, like this is where it just fucking my brain short circuits is the Van Allen radiation belts exist and they're around the entire Earth. There is no material on Earth that could withstand. Yeah, there's no material on Earth that could withstand passing through them. Therefore, how could anything that they say about space be believed?
Because you're talking about one small equation in a giant.
Yeah, but that equation is a whole to every other equation because it's like, well, if that's true, then we've never been to the moon. We don't have satellites like they say, or like to the degree that they say. We've never been to Mars.
Honestly, bro, the way I would answer that would be to say, you know what? Ask 4 different AI generators. And they're probably all going to come up with the same answer because more than likely that's basically what is a common accepted
Thank
truth.
God for AI because then they will help you with your
No,
what you're
it's
doing.
not like that because
Jesus motherfucking Christ. What has AI to do with real life?
Don't say that word, please.
It's a fucking encyclopedia, is what it is.
No, it doesn't.
It's an encyclopedia that you talk to. That's all it is. Okay, it's going to pull up references out of different encyclopedias, right, and give you those references. You know, printed, you know, substantiated, credible sources, right? Reputable, credible sourcing. That's what life is all about. That's how we know and we think, you know, what is truth? What is the truth?
AI is even more sophisticated than that. AI is what generative AI is. It's based on what's called a language model, and a language model takes all of the data, and this data would be like computer code or anything that is represented within language, text message, even not like a conversation or whatever.
No. AI is a waste of reality just to fit someone's category or whatever they want it to have. Yeah, no, because you have to actually tell AI what you want.
No, that's the thing though. That's the thing is the you just have to give it a accomplishment to attempt to achieve. And it'll find all the different means by which to get there. You just need to give it an end goal. And it may even at some point calculate its own end goal. But that's the fascinating part.
Do you need that to make a comparison in your life? Did you make a decision if you believe in God?
No, I despise him. I'm actually at war with him. Yeah.
Which God would you like me to be believing in at this moment in time for this conversation?
Oh, here we go. So you believe AI? Good for you, Fatty.
No. I'm just wondering.
I can see
because
every
Buddha might have something
AI
different to say
footage
about
out
it
there.
than
I can tell immediately it's not real.
right. But Lord
No,
Shiva
no,
might
I
say that it
challenge
is.
that. I
Right?
challenge that. I challenge that, and because I promise you, I have learned within the last month that there is AI that happens all around us that none of us are able to identify
Please
every
do.
time.
Please do. And show me
Okay.
10 different things, half of them AI, and I tell
How
you
about
which is AI
stoplights?
and which is not.
No,
Guys,
I'll
just
show you one.
can I interrupt, please? Can we? Can I interrupt? I am really flaking here. I'm not like Crispy. I'm not feeling. I'm just really struggling, and I have really wanted. No. I wanted you to just because I'm listening, but I'm just really struggling. Just even sitting here, I feel rough as fuck, and so can we? Can we come back to this on a different live? Is that
Everybody
okay?
getting
No,
sleep for
Mel. I will be friends with Fatty and Blissy Blind Fury the rest of my life.
They're like, I love the people that come on this channel, intelligent, fascinating, really beautiful human beings. And I'm just really I'm sat here, and what you're talking is fascinating, even though I struggle a little bit with religious stuff because I'm non-religious. But I'm sat here and I'm like
Fatty, it was really nice to meet you, sir. It was
For
really
sure.
nice to meet you.
Likewise.
No, seriously, guys, connect in chat because you lot are a fascinating lot, but I'm just really struggling. I'm sat here thinking I need to go back to bed. I think
I can
really
talk theology for days. I
Yeah.
can literally just.
You
I
live
can go.
somewhere else.
I mean, I
Wiccan,
used to
thank you
quote
for having
scripture
us.
and stuff,
Wiccan.
and like.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks, all of you. Thank you.
Fatty, nice to meet you, sir.
For
And,
sure,
and
I'm
yes,
gonna drop my.
Rider's dog. I'm trying to become the prime minister. I'm trying.
Love you, Mel.
Thank you, Ing, for coming up and like blessing our ear holes with all your knowledge. Thank you, sweetheart.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And same with you, Fatty. Thank you so much for just being you. Oh, okay. Thank you, Fatty. And Wiccan, you enjoy your birthday today. I hope you have a wonderful dinner with your son. I just honestly, I've been sat here really struggling. I already felt rough. Crispy is rough, bless her. She sounded a lot worse. I think I'm running everybody into the ground with this channel. But no, it just there's been some. I'm sorry, guys, if I've not been 100% present on this live. I've not only been dealing with feeling rough, but while we've been, chatting intellectually between the chat and the panel, there's some stuff going on with the collection of fucktards that have had my name in their mouth all night long, and it's so. I've been comparing this live to their live, and we're the intelligent people, they're the fucktards in society, and it's been making me laugh. It has cheered me up. I'm not going to lie. So apologies if I've not been 100% present with all you lot. When you feel like, I'm always having hot and cold flushes, but these feel different. These feel like I'm not well. These don't feel like I just feel like I'm coming down with something.
Oh, man.
No, it's fine. Normally my body fights off colds and flus and all that quite quickly. So,
That's good.
Yeah. No, I'm quite lucky like that. But it's just been so entertaining watching the fascinating conversation that we've all had tonight, and then the fucktards go, the stupid shit they're talking about. Oh, you're gonna love the fucktards. But I do feel very warm, and I don't know whether that's the weather or whether that's just me. I don't know, or maybe it's all the laughs that I've had with the screenshots that I've got from the fucktards. But I guess even fucktards need to be loved. They all collect together, loving each other. Oh, I don't know about garlic. I don't know, darling. I'm not too keen on garlic. I know I come from an Italian family, but I don't know that. Yes, Chris. I know it's a little bit early, sweetheart. I'm feeling rough. I really am, and I'm clearly making, driving my two co-hosts into the ground as well. Fucktards everywhere, Miss Potty Mouth. Seriously, I've had such a laugh looking at screenshots that people are sending me of their chat, and I'm like,
Thank you, Grace.
Fucktards need to be loved too. I mean, it just makes me no. But the thing is, right? Like, there's so many of them. There's so many of them collected together. It's like, you know what? I'm happy having a smaller community who are intelligent, bright, they're good people, than to have like a whole like collection of fucktards, cockroaches, infestations of society that all collect together and go, yeah, Mel's a bitch, Mel's this, that, and the other. I can't believe she's not this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I can't believe that for 4 months I was a part of your community. How did I not open my eyes sooner? And this is over 1.5 years ago. And honestly, it's like, oh yeah. And they all watch me. I've had somebody watch me go back to that chat. I've had them follow me around, all my channel friends, and all of a sudden, no, but what makes me laugh is that all of a sudden they get these gifted memberships and their name comes up in my friends' communities. And I'm like, it's a really weird kind of sick obsession thing, guys. It really is. It's really weird. I mean, Ewan, thank you. I mean, I love my chat. I don't care whether there's 30 people or 200 people in it. I'd rather have the people that I've got than 200 stupid, old, deranged women who don't have brain cells. They've all got the mental capacity of a 4-year-old in that chat. It's like the whole collection of retards all over the world have I'm in that chat. Oh, thank you for the entertainment tonight. Anyway, it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah.
No, I mean the entertainment tonight's been unreal. I'm sorry, guys. Normally everybody knows I don't do drama on this channel, and I'm not going to do drama on this channel. I refuse, because people that do drama and do the stupid fuck shit that they do, they know it brings in the views. I'd rather not have the views and have clever people that are blessing my chat right now. Yeah. Yeah, no thank you. Plus this person's, all her subs are like sloppy seconds from a bigger channel. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, I'm just all over the place. I feel a bit I don't know what the word is, Wiccan. I feel a little bit what's the word I'm looking for?
Under the weather?
I don't know, not under the weather. I think I'm going mad. I don't. Well, no, Wicked, right? You know full well that I've been trying to escape the fucktards for over 1.5 years, right?
Yeah.
You know that. And yes, the other night I had a bit of a blow up because it was a long time coming from one of these fucktards who talks like this. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything wrong. I was really nice to my bitch. No, you weren't. I'm delirious. That's the word I'm looking for, Fatty.
Yeah, delirious. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's a combination of the laughs, of the of me not feeling 100%. Maybe it was all that God talk. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. I don't know where I get it from, but I just feel delirious. And like I said, it's Hit the numbers up, right, darling? But tonight I've had mucho entertainment from that community. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I remembered why I left that channel, because you're all stupid. Yeah. Oh God, enough. I'm happy with my channel. Thank you very much, guys. I'm happy with my channel friends. We've all got great channels. We've all got channels that have the mental capacity of an adult. So I'm sorry, Wiccan, if I wasn't 100% with it tonight on your birthday. Will you please forgive me?
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And plus, guys, to be fair, when we're talking about religion, I don't really know very much about it, so I don't tend to contribute just because, yeah. I don't tend to contribute just because I don't really know very much about it, and there's no point contributing if you're not, if you're not knowledgeable in the matter. So I allowed the people that were knowledgeable in the matter just to talk. And thank you guys for keeping my panel, educational. And that's what we do here on this channel, guys. We bring educational. We don't bring stupid shit like I don't even know if I can say it. It's so stupid. We don't grift of missing children. We don't grift of people's tragedies. We don't talk stupid shit. Like actually, I have to honestly say that a 4-year-old child probably have a more intelligent conversation than that panel. So this is an educational channel. And like somebody like this brand new account came in earlier, went, Mel, why don't you shut up and pop a titty? No titties tonight, Jake. You can go and get your own titties. But yeah, no, I mean, this is an educational channel. We talk about yeah, exactly. I love the fact that we can all disagree and still be friends. Absolutely. And this is an educational channel. We talk about real life topics. We talk about real life stuff. And I'd rather have a channel like that than a channel full of stupid people.
Yeah, for sure.
So on that note, we're going to be, oh God, Wiccan, we're doing this all over again tomorrow morning.
No, not tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Oh, no, Wednesday. See, I don't even know what day of the week it is. No, it's my tomorrow. It's my tomorrow. Because remember, I'm a day ahead. What kind of a day ahead?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah. Amen. Exactly, Uncle Fatty. The most elusive, mysterious, never seen, never captured creature ever. God. Sweet. That's very sweet. So yeah, we're back for the breakfast show on Wednesday morning, where we're going to chop up the news. We're going to chop up the British and the American news. Hopefully it will be less eventful than last Wednesday's. Who would have thought in the morning we'd get so many interesting characters join the breakfast show, right, Wiccan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have thought? So, guys, I'll see you all on Wednesday for the breakfast show. Hopefully, I know a lot of you probably still be asleep, but we're doing that. And then I'll see you for Thursday nights live as well. So, time to go. Wiccan, thank you, everybody. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you to everybody on panel that were, that made it easy for me tonight just to chill out a little bit. Wiccan, thank you, sweetheart. And have, like I said, enjoy your birthday. And we'll see you all on Wednesday morning if you're up. If not, we'll see you Thursday night.
All right. And thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go back to bed. I'm definitely going to go back to bed. Bye-bye, everybody. And fruits of the spirit soul, one of the biggest foods, absolutely. I'm going to play the outro. Oh, I haven't set up a... Uncle Fatty, are you going live? Before I play the outro, are you going live, darling? Or I haven't set up the raid. damn, I can't even remember. Bye, Chris, my love. I can't even remember how I did it. Wiccan, do you remember? Because OTW walked us through it.
I don't. He made it look so easy, but I don't remember.
Right, he did make it look so easy. Wiccan, while I try and find it, do you want to tell us where you're going for dinner or what you're doing tomorrow, just so I can just have a quick look?
First, I'm going to go to bed after the live and catch up on some sleep.
Right.
And then for dinner, we're going to go to Texas Roadhouse.
Ooh, what do they serve in there?
Well, you probably won't like it too much, but they serve steak mostly.
Oh no, I mean, look, I don't mind a steak and if it ain't. I mean, I was eating a steak the other day, and I did find, you know what it is? It's not the taste; it's the texture in my teeth that bothers me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
But
yeah,
you know when the meat gets stuck. What else do they have? Is it like a steakhouse?
It's a steakhouse. And their biscuits are amazing, and their butter, oh my God. Oh, it's to die for.
What's butter? Like butter that you stick on a steak? I know it sounds stupid,
Yeah,
but
the
it's what it is.
butter that they give you to put on your biscuits. It's so good. It's like a honey butter type. It's so good.
Your biscuits are like, God, I can't fucking find it. They're like they're not biscuits here. I know what you mean. So you had steak and biscuits?
Yeah.
Right, I can't find it. Sorry, guys, no redirect because I really can't find it. That's a real shame. Yeah, I can't find it. I mean, I've had a look. I kind of remembered what OTW told me last time, but I can't find it. I really need to learn how to do this all by myself without always asking Resto to do it, because I cannot find it for the love. Altered content. No, it's not any of those. No, I can't find it, Wiccan. Sorry, guys, no redirect. Because I honestly, I thought I'd remembered what OTW told me, but I just can't. I can't remember how to redirect. So apologies, everybody, but no redirect tonight. All right, we shall go. All right. I will learn how to redirect all by myself. I promise. Hopefully, my laptop won't go crazy playing the outro like it did. I don't know what happened with your birthday vid. I don't know.
Yeah, that was weird.
Right. Have a lovely day, night, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow
no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.